Funny things. Hello. Spoon said we could say funny things now. Hey everybody, how's it going?
Yes, hello, greetings. There's no audio problems. Holy crap. I'll be
Oh,
damned.
let's go. That's a
It's a
rarity.
Christmas
We are a
miracle.
little bit late. Oh, and on the subject of being late, I should right here at the start, I'll let you guys know we are going to end also a little bit early because I have a new video that I think is actually really a good one. I mean, I think they're all good, but this is a topic I think a lot of people are interested in. It involves the awful phenomenon, people like Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Why do they go and do the stuff that they do? Why do these people go in Minneapolis and all over these Antifa types, or not even just like regular liberals go and put their
Because they're
lives on the
unemployed.
line? Well, they are unemployed often, but there's something psychological going on there, and I believe I have the answer to it. It is so robust in the data that I don't know what the alternative hypothesis is. This particular line of reasoning and research that I went down, which is that it is a personality profile, was again so robust that I'm not sure what the alternative is. And the answer is subclinical and potentially up to clinical levels of narcissism and, to a lesser degree, sadism. So I've gone through all the data on that. At 11 o'clock
Sadism.
GMT, yeah, sadistic narcissism is what it is. So at 11:30 p.m. GMT, which is, see, so 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, so in 3.5 hours, they're still going to do like a pretty full stream. I'm going to, or not 11:30, so yeah, whatever. 3.5 hours. We're going to switch over. I'll give you guys all the link. And the video is an hour and a half long, a little bit less than that, but an hour and 20 minutes. So then it will have that premiere. And yeah, but first, we got all kinds of stuff to talk about here tonight.
There's a lot of
because-
gossipy dumb shit this week. And especially in the last,
know-
24 hours.
Well, I don't know what's happened so much in the last 24 hours. What are you talking about? Are you talking about the Razor Fist stuff?
Yeah, and Patrick Casey, who academic
talk about
agent
that
had
as
to go
well.
in. And I
Were
had
they
a brief
related?
scuffle. I had a brief scuffle with him on Twitter. I can't fucking stand the guy. So I completely
know
agree
that
with
much
AA
about
that he's a
him.
twat.
But I looked at his Twitter account, and like all he does is talk shit about AA. He seems quite pathetic.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. This is the thing. I really wish AA would say something stupid and wrong, so I can say he's stupid and wrong. Just like to just say anything else other than just agree with him. But I would really like it if someone actually can do so without sounding like a complete spastic bellend. Mm-hmm. Because I just look at him versus everyone else and go, he's just better than all of you, like consistently. And
Yeah.
say what's
Sorry.
grump.
He keeps calling stuff on point.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's consistent, and the rest of you are just like tribalistic spastics, and it's annoying. Sorry, this is the way it is.
It's been both Razor Fist and Patrick Casey, and they are retweeting each other and doing that kind of stuff. And
Razor Fist
it's
is a
all
fag.
in service of
I don't mind saying
their
that, fuck it.
rage at academic agent, which is bizarre but kind of funny to observe. So first
I
things
find
first, we're going to be
a lot of people who don't like AA seem to be Zionists.
Weird
Curious,
that.
isn't it?
weird,
yeah.
and it's strange too because he's even made posts calling out like low IQ racism and anti-Semitism quite recently to talk about how there's obviously a low IQ version of it where it's just reactionary for the sake of being reactionary or edgy or whatever, and it's actually quite stupid. And that definitely does exist on the right, where it's ignorant, low IQ.
I kind of want to talk to you about that because
Yeah, sure.
someone made a point with Fuentes. I think it was Amy who pointed out as well. Is that he said he doesn't want to be part of the movement because it's been hijacked and it's just become like kind of cringe. And as far as I can tell,
Fuentes' movement, like the Groypers.
no, like to be MAGA now is like basically uncool.
Oh,
and
yeah.
cringe. And I
At this
think-
point, yeah, being MAGA at this point is it's uncool. It's not. This is not 2016 anymore.
no,
You know, a lot
and-
of this stuff has become very deeply uncool.
But I think that's kind of inevitable because I'm actually doing a video on this now. Believe it or not, the inspiration for this was actually Shoe on Head because someone
Yeah.
posted a picture of Shoe in like police uniform, and
Yes, yeah, that was from one of
and
our recent videos.
yeah, and someone were taking a piss out of it, and I just kind of snapped and went like, okay, no. Shoe on Head is not someone you sloppify, just because she watches my content. And so when people have a go at her, like I'm kind of defensive about it. I'm
Oh.
like, this is the one lefty that watches me. Fuck off. Like,
You're
yeah,
defensive of Spoo Woon is defensive of Shu Woo.
because she's the only lefty that watches me, as far as I'm aware. I don't know any other lefty who watches me. So when
I think she
that-
says she's kind of left the left again. She's just like politically homeless now, isn't it?
well, based on the stuff she said in that video, she's still quite lefty.
Yeah.
So when there's
Okay.
like one, so there's one lefty who watches me that I know of. So I'm kind of protective of like that one little red gem of my
Right.
audience that consists of just her. So when people, I'm like, no, piss off, don't go near that one. Like,
She was good people. She
Yeah.
was good people.
Yeah. And yeah, she was in a police uniform. And some of the shit people were saying, it just made me go, you do realize you can just look and go, she looks nice, and then stop, right? You fucking creepy ass. God, it's the internet. But,
It is the internet. Speaking of, I did some slop posting
Yeah.
in a similar fashion. If you bring up this, I'll show it because I did post this. And in my video tonight, I am wearing this costume as well, or outfit, whatever.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to know precisely when you could be sure the meme was dead, here it is.
Yes, when it starts to become okay, well, like all the middle-aged women wearing the like really generic-looking, very shitty purple wigs out protesting. I don't know what they were protesting. The Women's Alliance, or not, what's it called? The Women's League, whatever it is, thing, in England and the UK. They roll out there all dressed like Amelia, so it's kind of like, oh, it's a bit cringe now. But I got, I had the same color scheme as the character. I just seemed
You managed to
like
make her look
something
like
I
she,
had to
rather
do.
than drinking beer and, hating Johnny Foreigner, instead you've gone for a version of her where she presumably drinks Prosecco and smokes Vogues.
Based. Oh my god.
Chain smokes Vogues, I should say.
So let's
But,
see. What
uh,
else do I have on the docket?
no, but like,
With some, the
hold on,
Oh, yeah,
the
go
thing
ahead, sorry.
The thing I wanted to say is, there's
Yeah.
this you can sort of see this in a franchise as well. Is that when something is catering to a small group of people, it just caters to that group. So the quality of the product depends on the exclusiveness of the audience. And then once something goes mainstream, it sheds the it sheds the niche it was catering to, and it just chases profit in a raw mass kind of sense. And now it tries to make it to appeal to
Yeah.
everyone. And that's when, like, anything that becomes mainstream has that problem. And it either loses its soul because it's now catering to everyone, like Fallout
Right,
is a
yes.
good example of this. And once it, and with politics, like, you're trying to get as many people involved, the Big Ten thing, but that also it makes it watered down or penetrated by an external force that changes
yes,
it.
and it becomes lowest common
Cringy game.
denominator.
Yes.
And also, in the mimetic sense, the more filtered down it gets into to be mass appealing, the meaning becomes diffuse. So,
Yes.
why was the Amelia thing interesting in the first place? Well, because some local council put together this thing, and in this stupid little PowerPoint presentation, and in their incredible just lack of self-awareness, they wanted to have young men, in school-age boys, take this game or play this game, this PowerPoint
Seriously.
presentation. Yeah, well, again, the whole thing is that if you answered certain ways, the implication, not just the implication, but pretty strong advisement was they were going to be reported to Prevent, as
That's
potential
retarded.
fucking terrorists. And in their ignorance and in the left, very classical, total inability to understand, not just the right, but men, because it's all these women who did this shit, put a alt, dyed-haired girl in the game who is a nationalist and anti-immigration. Well, of course, when you then show that to young men, it is a woman who's advocating for the extremist position. Yeah, or what they believe is an extremist position is actually an extremely rational, a completely normal position. Total remigration is a completely uncontroversial opinion.
It is, yes.
But when you make that the avatar of that a alt punk-ish looking girl, well, yeah, it's going to have the opposite effect. And I don't know. I always like any excuse to cosplay or whatever, so that's all mine was. And that and the color scheme is the same, so I had to do it. Anyway, so there's that slop. Oh, I also had this up. Do you want to talk about the Razor Fist stuff some more? Or
Yeah, you go with this one first.
Well, this is just a notification, I guess, for people, and for this is another like house cleaning stuff. There are a couple of like NSFW, I think, channels on both Broken Crown and Atlanta Volt. I don't know. They were only there because people asked for them at some point in time, and it's just a thing people do on Discords. Well, Discord's now rolling out age verification, and apparently, and the other thing is too is I don't want children in the Discord. That's another reason why I was like, okay, just put stuff in there and say it's 18 plus. Say make sure that we're like this is an 18 plus. These are 18 plus Discords. No children allowed. No minors whatsoever. So it's kind of okay with that. Although I don't know if that was the right way to go about it. Whatever. Now it's going to be that if people use Discord and they cannot access servers that have not safe for work content in them without doing age ID verification, essentially. And the result of this has, of course, been like you can see here, searches for Discord alternatives that went off the freaking chart immediately. This is mostly an issue of privacy. I do understand not wanting children to have access to pornography, obviously.
Did you see Discord got a new CEO?
Yeah, and he's Jewish. Weirdly.
Yeah.
What a
Funny
coincidence.
that, isn't it?
I know. Strangely, speaking
But
of
not safe
coincidences,
for work
that has.
content.
Speaking of coincidences, there's a lot of people of the Jewish persuasion that we're going to talk about this evening.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, something to notice.
who knows?
Coincidence.
I mean, just because they're so intelligent and clever, they just end up everywhere.
Scheming rodents.
Anyway, so by the way, I don't know if anyone actually uses it. I've never checked any of the not safe for work stuff, and one of my moderators takes care of it.
Neither have I.
So I've never looked at it. So sorry guys, I'm deleting all the not safe for work stuff, boards or whatever they're called from Discord because I'm not fucking with that shit. And apparently, at least according to them, you won't have to do this to use servers that don't have 18 plus content on them. So seems like an easy solution to me. But we'll see if it ends up being this easy because of course the real reason to get this real ID stuff to your face and everything is so they can further profile you and have all of your data on deck, and then so it can get just whoopsie doopsie day leaked. Yeah, which
They have already had a
always
leak.
happens every time. They've already had a leak. Yeah, exactly.
They have verification and it leaked.
Yes. Well, so I noticed that just in the last couple of days of using it, and this isn't supposed to be rolled out yet. At least I didn't think so. Right? When did it say this is supposed to be rolled out? Oh no,
March.
February 11th, and it's supposed to be rolled out in March. But I'm already seeing on Discord people post something, and it says, "Oh, you need to get the age verification to be able to see this post." And it's like, excuse me, I pay for Discord
Australia.
Nitro.
That's Australia.
Is it?
Because they already had an under 16s social media ban.
Ah.
Why would it be that I can't see people's Discord posts on my Discord though?
What's
Are they Australian?
I wasn't impressed.
That's what I mean.
Screenshots
Yes.
of it.
No, I've seen it happen twice, just in the last 2 days, where someone just posted something, and it said, you need to pass our age verification thing, and it's like, well, I pay for Discord Nitro, so I don't even understand. I mean, like,
And also, this means
because
that
they don't
once
care
again,
that
we
I'm
have a
about to be
situation
an
where
adult. They
people
want
cannot
my face
view
attached to it.
things on servers that they are responsible for
Right.
and are potentially liable for.
Exactly.
Also,
Right.
I would also like to say that collecting data like this is illegal in many places,
Mm-hmm.
and whether it's illegal or not will require a camera. I don't have one. I don't know about
Right.
y'all. I know, like, as
Bill doesn't have a what do you call it, webcam.
also, I'm
you
gonna
can
keep
do
it
it
a
on your
buck.
phone.
If Discord continues to be the dominant one, I'm just gonna we need an idea. Okay, here's the one that they dredged out in 9/11. That'll do.
Yeah.
If it's not bomb-proof enough, it's good enough for the Fed.
Yeah.
It's good enough for you.
So we are going to talk about the Razor Fist stuff and the Patrick Casey stuff because that's all extremely cringe. We're going to talk about the fallout and more information that's come out of the Epstein files, and then we're going to talk about some of this, some UK news because the same group of people, for whatever reason, have basically
the reform
claimed
shit.
reform, yeah,
Oh my
as their own.
God. It's
Weird.
insufferably in your face fucking cringe.
It is, yes. It is
Like,
so
it's
freaking
it's
insufferable.
somehow you managed to take the Tories and make them even more faggy,
Yeah.
which is like a hell of an achievement
They say we
considering
can't
that's all the
innovate.
Tories are.
Yeah. God,
Crazy.
it is so incredibly,
Here's
incredibly.
a question:
I
what
hate
must it
everyone.
be like
Me
being
too.
one of the few people left in the Tories?
Well, I don't hate the people
You just-
here.
Like you just
Chill here.
hemorrhaged like half your fucking party.
Right. But well, yeah, they hemorrhage it to reform, and reform looks like it's going to be more of the same. It's also some stuff that's been going on with Rupert Lowe, who I am consistently impressed with. Much like I'm usually pretty impressed and happy with Thomas Massey, who is catching a bunch of shit all of a sudden, particularly
Yeah.
from Pam Bondi. Wonder why? It's because Thomas Massey appears to be a rare, at least somewhat honest politician.
Yeah.
I
have
don't know,
noticed
maybe honest isn't the right word.
He
but
is pissing
something.
off all of the right people.
Right people, indeed.
And all the people
is
that don't like him are, again, are Zionists. Again, I wonder why.
so
oh, yeah. Do
strange.
you know why? Because he's
Pam
the only
Bondi needs to be
guy.
fired. Yes.
AA pointed this out as well, and I agree with this.
Whoops. Oh, geez. Sorry. Sorry, I had to
As
tab open another thing. My bad.
he pointed this out, and I think all of us did. The moment that Matt Gaetz was not chosen for Attorney General, you knew it was going to go really bad.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Because-
it wasn't a right.
Because
Obvious
Matt
right there.
Gaetz is not a fan of AIPAC or Israel. Like, that's the guy that should be AG. And oh no,
Yeah,
we're
and
going to
you're
choose
gonna-
this rampaging blonde bitch that
You're
is
gonna see
absolutely
who
fucking
stays-
useless.
And we're going to cover
We'll
some
talk
other
no tea.
stuff like that. Who stays in power in MAGA versus who gets ousted. And it turns out if you are not pro-Israel enough, just not pro-Israel enough, that's an easy
Yeah.
way to get ousted from MAGA, which is
The
one of the
only
reasons why it's
pro-Israeli
not cool
people
anymore.
left are in like the cabinet at this point.
Yeah. So there we go, and then at 11, we'll go ahead and switch over. So let's get Royd into the news. That's where I'd like to be with the
And then
Epstein
we're
stuff.
switching over. What are we switching over to 11 to?
To my video. I was
Oh,
talking
right.
about it
Okay.
earlier.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Sorry. 11,
Premiere.
11. Yeah, 11 your time.
Yes.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, GMT. So in 3 hours. So first thing, I'm gonna share this in the chat too for you guys. Oh, let me cover the early super chats as well. Let me get that first. But this is sort of like housekeeping stuff still, so we're still in the opening. This is a really, really cool app if you're interested in this stuff. So for example, let's go down here to network actually. Now, first of all, you can like look up who all these people are, find out these are pretty much everyone who's listed in not everyone, but there's a lot of people who are listed in the Epstein files. 43 pages of just people.
Is
It's
Tucker listed
2.1
there?
thousand. Tucker? He probably is. Chris Tucker. No, Tucker Carlson's not.
Wow.
Yeah, interestingly.
Tucker
Now,
is not
I
listed
don't-
in the Epstein files.
That is interesting, but that doesn't necessarily mean
curious.
good or bad. It doesn't necessarily mean good or bad because
it just makes me
sometimes
curious.
people show up a lot because they're talking shit about
I
them.
think the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Well, like, for example, one of the reasons that Trump, one of the early conversations about it, or of the many conversations that were mentioning Trump, were extremely negative because Trump called one of them a fat little Jew at one point, allegedly, and they got real fucking upset about that. Which,
That's kind of based, I'm
You
not
know
going to lie.
well, yeah, and when I saw it, it was just like a fat little Jew. Like, you know that face he makes where he purses his lips? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about? Jew, you know what I mean? Yeah, just this, right?
The one where he's putting his hands together as well.
Oh, that would be really good, but just this particular, that face.
Yeah, it's totally that one.
Oh my god. Dude, whatever this is, it sucks. Dude, copy image address link. Fuck me. There we go. Jew, fat little Jew.
You can totally
hope he
see him
did.
saying that as well.
Exactly. That's why it's funny. To show you more about what this stuff is, though, look, this is the web. You can do things like, let's just sort for key figure and political. And so this is a small version of it, but you see Trump is here connected secondarily or directly to Epstein. But this has got all of the people and their connections. Here's Steve Bannon.
That's been
Oh,
quite a bizarre one.
Mulvaney. Yeah, that one is bizarre. But this is just an example. There's so much stuff here. There's also a full timeline of events from the 1950s, I guess. What's in the 1950s? Well, I guess it's like, early stuff from no way. I don't think this has been completed yet, yeah? I don't know why you can go back to the 50s. But
That says 1980s at the top.
It doesn't? But I'm clicking on the 80s, 90s,
1990.
2000s. Yeah, now it does.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little bit of a delay. But you can go, like, look, this is the 2000s, right? Just look. This is extremely well put together. If you're interested in this stuff, as I assume many of you are,
You can
check out this app.
You can make an entire
Very cool.
channel just going through this shit for, like,
For
months
sure.
on end.
For sure. Yeah. 100, and here's all the documents as well.
It will make
Just
you very
for, like,
depressed,
easy-
though.
It
Doesn't everything?
does make you make one very depressed.
Yeah,
It's
fair enough.
distressing, right?
Or psychotically angry.
Yeah, indeed. Or
'Cause I,
Jorge Nolostos.
I listened to a stream going through some of the more heinous stuff, and I'm pretty desensitized from having watched some disturbing films that just made me go, it's not really horrifying. It's more that you're just trying to shock me with the most depraved thing you could possibly imagine. Which, when you see it in film, it's like, yeah, but when you actually see it, this is what the people actually do. I'm kind of going, yeah, that's kind of making me want to go on a rampage, shall we say.
Ardent says that, as per Braves AI, Taos does not appear in the files. This is strange. I saw his name there earlier, Taos. But the thing is, this with anything else, by the way, this is like a starting point. Richard Taos, how is he not? It says he's a key figure. So I might not actually, in that case, trust Brave AI. But that being said, with anything like with this, always double check to make sure, that this stuff's accurate. Anywho, let me get some super chats here, which is Mordegon for 10 says, this might be more sociolinguistics than your area, but do we know if filler words like and well have increased in usage over time? Have you seen any corpus/recorded speech studies? Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I've read it before, but I went and looked it up real quickly. So to find some examples of what I'm talking about. Because the answer is yes.
Unfortunately.
It is definitively, it's younger people and specifically women, but
Of course it is.
both of these go over it. Yeah, this one's more of a review of it, but this one
I could have
this one's
told you
good.
that.
Well, yeah, I know. Overall, filled pauses were used at comparable rates, so filled pauses are uhs and ums. So that is not reliant on age or gender. But I mean, like more common among young women, younger participants, more conscientious people. So yeah, if it's common in younger people, and this is from 2014, it may be a less of an age thing and more of a temporal thing, that after a certain period of time it started to increase in its use. However, I do think this is pretty heavy among women comparatively to men, as you can see here.
Yeah, blokes don't
And
really say it as much.
No, it's hedging words, a lot of it. You want to say things, you want to say like, because you don't want to make a definitive statement, because that's masculine, I guess. So I'd have to look into it more to give you a more accurate answer than that. But yes, it does appear to be a younger people, and particularly a female thing. Let's see. Dustin Shupak for 10 says, apparently the Canadian Supreme Court is looking to review the Firearms Act after the trans shooter, naming it after the 34 victims. Google trans shooter rule 34 for more info. It's funny you should mention that. I did look up trans shooter rule 34, and I do actually have that on the docket for later. No. We've been through this game.
I literally just said no, which made me just go, no. I'm curious as to did someone try and meme that though, and what would it look like?
I think like that. I like Dustin Shootback's super chat there. Let's see. TG Franz for 10 says, Avi Crown Crew, good health to you all. Hashtag sword fund. Whoa, thank you, Bill. There's $10 to the sword fund.
No one. Thank you kindly.
Let us now get into the Epstein Files stuff, because yikes.
Dev is going too far this time.
Yeah.
Dev is going to end up using a certain Futurama booth at some point.
No, he loves himself way too much. So last week,
sure?
First of all, I wanted to correct. Yes, he's got mad narcissistic energy, dude.
Okay.
Last week I misspoke. Apparently, I saw in the comments. I didn't even realize I said this, but I think I did say that I think I said that Trump had been to the island, and that was me misspeaking. What I was thinking of is Trump had flown on Epstein's plane, or vice versa, or whatever. But that he had actually been to the island has not been claimed to be true until actually now. There's now claims that Trump was at the island. There's also this part of the report that shows that in 2006, before any of this stuff came out publicly, Trump called the police on Epstein to report him and Maxwell. So this is said he knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell was Epstein's operative. She is so evil, and to focus on her. Trump told Blank that she was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of there. Trump was one of the very first people to call when people found out they were investigating Epstein. No one could explain how Epstein made his money. They knew he worked for Bear Stearns. Was told Epstein was kind of a technical guy that would make it happen, but you didn't want to know how. None of the victims that the PBPD spoke with said they had sexual contact with men other than Epstein while in Epstein's orbit. Anyway, the key part there is that apparently Trump went to the police about this in 2006. I want to be clear. I don't think anybody who knew this guy in any capacity looks clean in any way coming out of this, right? It puts a stink on all of them because it's the entire elite class. So I am not one of the people, like some on Twitter, who are sweeping for any possible connections here. And I do think finding this is good. This is good to know. If true, it reflects extremely positively on Trump that he went to the police to report these people, but because of his social and financial ties, potentially, it's just business stuff, like, not official business, but, oh, you introduced me to your friend, networking stuff. He did at least report them, which is better than most others did. That being said, I'm still not going to sweep for the guy and act like anyone's hands are clean here. Because, Spoon, you know who I'm talking about, the kind of people who just do not want to talk about this whatsoever. Yeah. Because of the stink being close to Trump.
Yes. There's a good super chat there. Give me some PS2 recommendations. And then the EFSLA. Smackdown Here Comes the Pain. That's a fun game. SSX Tricky is PS2.
Hang on, let me get my CD case.
Drakengard.
Shadow of the Colossus. I think is on PS2. Yeah. Crash Bandicoot. Classic.
Snake Eater, indeed. Final Fantasy X, one of my favorites.
Tekken 6.
And 10 2. Tekken 6, yeah. God, there's so
Mercenaries
many.
2.
The thing is with the PS2, particularly if you're a fan of RPGs and JRPGs, oh my god, the lists are nigh endless.
PS2 was the greatest era of gaming, I think.
I agree. It was I think PS2, maybe 360 era. So like PS3, because the 360 was such a great console. And the PS3 was really good too. I still have a PS3 to play Blu-rays with. That's why we got it in the first place, because it used to be one of the cheapest Blu-ray players. Sorry, we're down in memory lane, which is fine by me.
Yeah. Most of the Tenchu games on PS2 are pretty good.
Oh, there's so many good games on the PS2 though. Like it's difficult to even think of them because there's just so many. But particularly if you like Xenosaga. Oh my god, I'm trying to even think about all the freaking great games on the PS2. It's actually overwhelming. So I will not whelm myself anymore.
Someone said that PS2 arguably has the best console library. Agreed.
It has to.
Yeah.
Was
PsyOps, the Mindgate conspiracies in the banger.
Computer. Oh my god, dude! There's so many great games on PS2. I can't even think of all of them.
Hold on, let's just look up a list real quick. It says top. I'm gonna see if we can find a list here. Top selling PS2 games of all time.
What top selling?
Zone of the Enders 2.
Zone of the Enders. Holy shit!
I think it's also the when we got the last good.
The thing is too is that there's so many like more obscure ones that are Devil May Cry.
God Hand.
All three Devil May Crys.
Onimusha,
God Hand.
2 and 3.
Holy shit! Yeah. Fucking A.
All the good Dynasty Warriors are on the PS2.
Kingdom Hearts. I don't even know.
Kingdom Hearts was Beautiful Joe, although I think Beautiful Joe is on multiplat.
Underrated one is Oni.
Oni is great.
Yeah. Top
Sorry.
selling one,
Oh,
San
oh,
Andreas.
oh,
No surprise.
All the good Evil Dead
yes,
games
yes.
on the PS1.
San Andreas. Vice City.
Yeah.
Of course, as well. Then,
Resident Evil Outbreak.
dude, I gotta get on track because otherwise I'll just talk about PS2 games.
State of
all day.
Emergency was another good one.
We don't really mind. This is a helpful distraction. This is
Crime
like
Street
the,
Tale,
this is like the days of
yeah.
like high-end gaming.
Oh, I know. It was the best
Yeah.
time to be a
Especially
gamer in many ways.
And we're not just saying that because we're nostalgic. You can just look at them and go like, yeah, those are objectively great fucking games.
I mean, there's great
Okay,
games in like
Can
in
we
the
all agree?
PS1 and 64 and
The Lord of the Rings
NES
games
and
had
SNES
no
era,
right to be that
but-
good.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Absolute fucking gold.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mint
Medal
and
of Honor Front
Silent Hill
Line.
2.
God, I
oh my
remember,
god,
yeah.
Resident
Need for
Evil
Speed
4?
Underground. God, yeah, that was good. Although I think Underground 2 was
All the
better.
Burnout games.
Everything.
Wipeout
Oh yeah,
Fusion.
Burnout as well. Yeah.
Burnout, yeah. Dude, everything
Wipeout
that
Fusion
was
as well, don't forget
every
Wipeout.
game that was great from the era was with
Twisted
a couple
Metal
of
Black.
exceptions.
Ratchet and Clank.
God, so many.
Black.
Spider-Man
as well,
2.
which was. For those who don't know,
Oh.
if there's a game called Black from PS2 era. it
Why are we
is
doing this
just
again?
Black Ops. like the
because
original Black Ops
Tater
is just a
Chip
rip off of Black.
asked for PS2 recommendations.
Black
Yeah,
Ops was the
somebody
game that
asked, so-
pioneered like destructible environments and FPS.
Anywho, Ardent Party for 5 says Ardent plays 9 p.m. or 9 p.m. EST starting live reads of Moonraker tonight. Give $1 for the sword fun. I recommend the Damascus Saber. Find me on X and like the stream. Thank you, Ardent.
Rules is rules. We're going to go for the Executioner sword. We'll have need of it.
Indeed. All right. So again, yeah, Trump apparently reported Epstein in 2006. And there was more on this as well. Was this another document here about it? So that's the same thing, right? Right. More evidence, sorry. Why is this so tiny? Okay. This is the same thing. You just retweeted it. Okay, never mind. I thought it was a different article. But I didn't read the second part of it before. I just read the first part. So that was mine error. However, there is someone who claims that Trump did go to the island now. Or at least that this guy has been to the island. And furthering, this guy is very close to Trump, as you're going to see.
And he's also very
if
close to
you're not
Epstein.
And he's very close to Epstein.
He's genetically
Which
close
makes
to Epstein, looking at him.
Yeah. I'm
This
starting
guy
to
has
think
now-
that's the reason he was
Yeah.
picked is because he has dirt on Trump.
Maybe, right? Oh wait, does he just confirm? Wait, I saw this earlier. Is he just confirming that he went to the island? Because I thought he was saying that Trump did. I may have misread the headline on this, guys. Sorry, I'm retarded. No, it is
Yeah,
him
he
saying
went.
it. Okay, I misread this. My bad. This guy went. I do have other stuff on him though, because I looked into this guy. Right? I did see that. I knew that he went. I knew
this
that
is
already.
the one that a whole bunch of us have said needs to resign immediately.
He definitely does. And I'll show you some other clips from this guy in the past. Why it's so fucking weird.
Why did the Epstein files show you coordinating a meeting and planning a visit with Jeffrey Epstein on his private island in December 2012?
Thank you for the question. I'm glad to be here to make it clear.
Oh my god. Listen to his voice too.
I
Wowie.
met Jeffrey Epstein when I moved to a house next door to him in New York.
Oh,
Right? And
what a coincidence, though. Again, what a strange coincidence. You just happened to move next door to him. That's when you met him for the first
By the
time.
way, can we just point this out? If you ever watch one of these videos and the person starts with "Thank you for the question," you know they're
Thank
about to
you.
say some dog shit. Every
Right,
Yeah, and they're about to
single,
lie their ass off.
Yeah, every
Indeed.
single time.
Every time.
I've never seen someone start that an answer like that says something sensible.
Every
time.
Stein, Singelberg,
bollocks.
Timowitz. Indeed.
Yeah.
You're right, though. The volume's up as high as it can go, unfortunately.
for the next 14 years, I met him 2 other times that I can recall. 2 times. And that is none for 6 years. So 6 years later, I met him. And then a year and a half after that, I met him, and never again.
Did you, in fact, make the visit to Jeffrey
You
Epstein?
never even run into
that-
him as his neighbor when he is constantly in transit.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make me feel any better. That's just like, oh, yeah, well, I may have raped somebody here and there, but, I only did it twice in 12
Right,
years.
exactly.
You still committed the crime, you dumbass. That's not how that works.
Exactly. And
The frequency is not the issue here.
Exactly. Yes. These are mortal sins,
Moron.
beyond mortal sins. The
Also-
worst shit you can possibly do.
You live next door to this person, and he is regularly moving within the circles that you're moving in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you never twig that this person might have ulterior motives.
Yeah.
You never felt any or is it simply the fact that you knew precisely what if you're telling the truth, which is non-existent chances. That just means that you knew full well what he was and didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because if you were giving him that wider berth, it's like living
That's
next
kinda
door to
sus,
him.
Yeah.
It is
It's-
indeed.
When the question changes from why did you do this to why didn't you do something,
Right? Yeah.
like when you start to ask, that's the real question. Like if these people are telling the truth, what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife
See-
was with me.
So you just happened to be on a boat going by the island and you docked for lunch. What?
On a private island, all those islands around there are private. Literally all of them.
Oh, come the fuck on now, right?
As
You just wandered into the waters of the fucking
Right, just-
diddling island.
Just happened to just
I'm sure, by the way, that
by-
it's really easy to just
just like how he
drive
just
a
happened to
boat.
move in next door to him. He just happened to be passing by his island.
I'm sure that the nonce island has zero water security, and you can
Right.
just drive right the fuck up to it.
I'm sure. Yeah, why would it have any kind of security?
children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch.
Oh,
That doesn't
that's not,
make it
that
any
doesn't make it
better.
better. That
That
makes
makes
it
it
way
way
worse.
worse.
That makes it significantly worse. Why would you bring? I guess he's trying to say, "Oh no, my wife was there, and there were children there, so it's fine. It was a family gathering or
Yeah, it was
whatever.
kinda
It was,
known
you know,
for that.
family
That's the
However,
problem.
yeah, that's,
It's literally the
this
fucking
guy is a
Dan DeVito
serial
snorkeling joke.
kitty diddler. Fuck's sake.
We were just there for the snorkeling. Claims this
Yes.
retard.
I went to take my
Who
family
started
with
the
a known
conversation.
pedophile. Like, yeah, that doesn't make you look better, you daft git.
No, yeah. If anything, that makes it worse.
Island. That is true. For an hour, and we left with all
Mm-hmm.
of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not.
You took
apart
your nanny to a
to
family
suggest there was
vacation?
anything untoward.
Yeah, that's weird
These
too.
people don't actually interact with their children.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah.
About that in 2012.
It's
There's
really,
also a
it's really
reference-
just, it's really weird to hear someone just say, and we left with our children. Why would you need to specify that?
Yeah.
It's that kind of.
Yeah, why did you? Of course you did. Yeah, dude, he's got so many liars tells.
It
How is
just-
this guy
it just seems-
in a position of power?
It just seems
I mean,
really sketch.
Yeah, besides him being likely a nonce, what like this guy
Yeah.
who is he cannot
Got no poker
he's
nose.
not lying convincingly here.
To the fact that
Strong Obadiah Stane energy, yeah.
Epstein had expressed an interest in meeting your nanny. Do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein ever met with your nanny?
No, I saw that. I had no idea what that was about.
Really?
What? Yeah.
Trying
to traffic someone or something? There's no what he wanted to have sex with her or traffic her in some capacity, I imagine. And Nanny,
Which
how
raises
old
the
was
question
she?
as to why
18,
you were so
17?
keen to bring said nanny with you on trips.
Yeah, now,
Yeah,
dude, it
now-
just sounds
yeah.
absolutely awful.
Because we didn't think about it before. We just think, oh, he was just a lazy asshole who can't raise his kid. Now
Let me
we're thinking
see.
that this is just a live-in sex slave.
It sounds like it,
Yeah.
or something. I mean, what is this nanny? Like, I'm
Also-
very interested about why you asked that question. And
It says he's there for an hour. It's going to take more than an hour to do like the pre-leaving checks to make sure the boat's
It's-
in working order.
I
it's
think
kinda
that one needs to
weird.
be looked into.
It's
more.
quite weird.
I'm not seeing
that's-
anything. On
so
it.
so let me get this right. You took your nanny on vacation, which is already sus. Then you said
Uh-huh,
I left
weird.
with my kids and my nanny,
Kids.
which you should, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And then you
'cause
say
you're
I
just
don't.
stopping
and
by
like,
for
yeah.
lunch.
And then, I don't know anything about this. You brought your nanny on vacation. No one fucking does that.
Did
Maybe
he-
the ultra
What was his
rich do, I
wording?
don't
Did he
know.
say I left with my kids, or did he say I left with the nanny and kids?
Actually, what did he say? Hang on. Now I'm curious about that. What did he
weird.
say here?
Whether Jeffrey Epstein ever met with your nanny?
I'm gonna go back a little further.
Do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein ever
Oh,
met?
sorry. I don't know
with your
why.
nanny?
It's one of those ones that's got like just predetermined. Like
No,
Yeah.
I saw that. I had no idea what that was about.
Okay, no, that was yeah.
I
This is one of
don't
those
believe
players where
that.
like it won't. Hang on, I'm gonna play back from here. Let's try this. I think this is when they got on it. Oh, it was after like a flash when they started talking about this. Okay, here. Was it? Whatever.
No, it's-
The lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family.
Yeah, there's this
vacation
part.
They were there as well with their children.
This is the other.
And
Yeah.
we had lunch on the island.
Okay.
That is true. For an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies,
Okay.
my wife,
Nannies.
together. We were on
Plural.
family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was
So it's nannies plural. And he does say that they left with the children and the nannies who have multiplied.
either it's the other couples, but the other couple isn't mentioned in
Why
the
is why did the other couple's nanny go with them, dude? This shit stinks.
So now it reeks. Now it sounds like the other couple was not mentioned in the list on the roster, and he was
Maybe
going
they-
into pretty
or maybe they are.
exhaustive detail.
Look, this guy stinks.
So
He needs
either
to
the
he needs
other
to
couple
get the fuck
stayed.
out.
Or you just felt the need to list off everyone else.
Just listing off
Yeah.
who this guy is. This guy claimed to have survived 9/11 due to his son's kindergarten day. And you look into this, you can find tons of articles about this, about how he would have been in one of the towers or in the area during 9/11, but it just so happened that he
Cool.
was
That day.
had to take care of his son or do something with his son. A guy who forced an Israeli loyalty test on White House staff. Guy who just happened to be Jeffrey Epstein's neighbor. What are the odds? Guy who lied about cutting ties with Epstein in 2005, which is the other thing that he was testifying about there, because he had previously said he cut ties in 2005. Guys who visited the island with his 4 kids in 2012. So this is 2012. That's after people knew this guy was at least a sex weirdo, if not a...
Yeah, he was already getting
Mass
investigated.
pedophile.
2006 is when Trump did it, apparently, or
Yes.
reported to the cops.
2009. When did he first get arrested? And there was first investigations going, because he basically went free the first time. That was 2009, I think. The first time he got in any kind of legal trouble. 2008. Okay, yeah.
2005 was the investigation.
Right, and that's when Trump. That 2006 is when Trump cut, apparently didn't want to deal with him. Right. Well,
Trump was
insofar he
like
didn't cut
only
ties,
the
but he
initial,
reported him to the police in 2006. And it sounds like he thought they were disgusting, but may have had to. And that is the thing about these pedophile networks and why they work the way that they goes down. All of them go down by your mere association. But if you want to network with other powerful people and get access to the other people that they know and stuff, well, you're forced to. If you want to play these big games of power and politics and money. And so you inherently end up compromised.
And ensuring that the people in charge are all horrific fucking subhuman animals.
Yeah, it's all so fucking disgusting. Guy who thinks covering for pedophiles is funny, and what he's referring to is this clip. And it's not the only clip like this. There's actually quite a few of them.
Pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
So I'm talking about the Epstein files. He seems to find that hilarious. Right? Here's another. Is this the other clip? Yes. Here he is. Same time. Look at this dude, right? This is, again, talking about Epstein.
He hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation.
Talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation. He looks at Trump. Look at him fucking laugh.
To talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation.
It's hilarious to him.
It pretty much it wouldn't really matter what the subject matter of the conversation would be in the White House. This would still be a social faux pas, even if he was talking about something that was actually funny.
Right?
Like this, degree of.
Hey, shit, it's Duper's delight, right? Dude, it's crazy.
Hebrew nonsense is what it is.
Indeed, right? Good God. It's just so openly evil. Rat Chasington for 5 says, I want Starscream to rule the world. Canonically, he's a good leader in the comics. All hail Starscream and me. Based. Mordigan for 5 says, thanks for answering my question. Do you know why communication is so poor nowadays? Is it education, foreignization, or something? Those are both factors. I think another reason is texting and the internet.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
That is definitely altered human speech and made it also so that, particularly when it comes to written communication, skills are all fucked up now. The internet has affected that a lot. Education and foreignization have as well, though, for sure. Rambam 3000 for £5 says, Aiden, I really enjoyed your London calling video. Oh yeah, that was from years ago. I take it the man you're with at 123 is Bill, good looking fella. If it, well, Nuka's in that video too, but if it's, yeah. If it's like when we're coming down the escalator, yes, that is Bill. Solon Lich for 100 era says, so this dude is the Israeli David Hogg. I was roughly 25 miles from the guy that recorded the planes crashing. I'm a survivor. Yeah, essentially. You want to have it both ways. I'm a survivor of 9/11 because I just so happened to be not there. Okay.
I was injured in 9/11. I rolled my ankle from dancing. That got a bit Woody Allen there.
It did. Sensible Center for £2 says, base Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Manchester United owner, yeah, on Sky News X. I did see that. Actually. I'll pull that up real quick since you mentioned it. Because this is actually quite based of him. Whoop. Here it is.
Apparently bought the club just because he was sick of the line looking like a minstrel show.
I mean, based on what he says here. I didn't have this in the show notes. I wasn't sure how interested people would be in this. But it's based since you mentioned it.
Huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause...
It's been colonised?
It'll cause... Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020.
It's like 78 now, isn't it? That's not that high. Is it 68? I think I got the first digit wrong. I think it's 68.
Probably going to say, I think.
So it's gone up by nearly, nearly 20 million. Yeah. Or 15, something in that vicinity. I can't do basic math because fucking dyscalculia. More advanced math, fine. For whatever reason, basic like addition and subtraction. Forever. It's just, it's like dyslexia, but for number.
No, it's 70 million.
Okay.
That's 12.
God damn it! If I hadn't
Thanks for pausing the video, Hassan.
If I hadn't paused, champed, then I
even
would have heard the
said-
number
I
next
even
second.
said-
Million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a kind of a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man.
But he's shaking his head no, to be fair.
And I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in. I think it needs somebody who's prepared to be unpopular for a period of time too.
I don't know if Nigel's willing to do that.
Would be my
No, he's a
view.
Yeah. I did see that earlier. Very based. Indeed. All right, where was I? Herder. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm going to do a little for the pardon the aside. I'm going to do a little flashback now to look at like what people were saying about this Epstein Files stuff a couple years ago. On, just a little sampler platter of this shit. Because a lot of it is, one is that we talked about it last week, this pivoting to, oh, it's actually Russia, it has something to do with Israel. And then a lot of it too is, well, Trump and all of the conservatives, people in the 4chan Epstein-owned rabbit hole, they've all been propagandized, and they're the pedophiles and the nonsense. Do not fucking forget that these people said that if you thought any of these things, if you were skeptical about people like Jeffrey Epstein, if you ever thought there was any sort of validity to Pizzagate, you were a fringe extremist conspiracy theorist. And they shut that shit down hard in terms of censorship. So there's a little, blast from the past about how these people were talking about this shit in 2020.
I think it's interesting when you look on the internet and you see the bigotry on the internet and the people who have been...
Oh my God, he sounds exactly the same 5 years later, and just the same fucking phrases even.
These conspiracy theories about QAnon and about Jeffrey Epstein. There's a picture of me on the internet, right, where someone has superimposed the face of Jeffrey Epstein over Chris Cuomo and I, like hanging out, and there are people.
Dude, it's always about him, though, isn't it? He is a classic narcissist. Even in this little example, what's his problem with people talking about Jeffrey Epstein conspiracy theories? Someone made a meme with my face on it. They replaced it with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my God, what a loser.
Who actually believe it. And people say, well,
Nobody believes that you're Jeffrey Epstein, you fucking idiot, Don.
No, not all Trump supporters are bigots or racists. Okay, fine, you can believe that. But when I
You can believe that, dude. These people.
look at all the people who put things like that on the internet, 99 times out of 100, it is a Trump supporter. So people should think about that as they are placing
left
those
can't
things
meme.
on the
Yeah, you should hate those people for believing ridiculous things like Jeffrey Epstein. This is 2020, by the way. So well after it was, way after it was known that this guy was a freak. If there's any sort of connection there, you're just a racist, bigoted anti-Semite.
internet as they are wearing political messages in the workplace as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talking about that, there's a fake flight manifest that has like 100.
That you're on it.
Yeah, I'm allegedly on it. Obviously,
Well, are you Anderson Cooper? Are you? Andy?
Let's self-report on this one, isn't it?
Wait, that's the wrong link. That was my first link. Sorry. Let's see. Hey, look, a utility for this instantly. Is Anderson Cooper in here? Cooper. Oh, maybe that's weird. Other people are showing up. He's not, to be fair, on this directory. But weird thing to say now in retrospect, huh? I got another little cute flashback here. God, that was very hard to listen to. Even not even a minute of those two idiots talking. Here's Kash Patel. Jesus, another person that should have no power whatsoever.
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
This is about
he trafficked to other individuals, and the information we have again is limited.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file.
Okay.
I really can't take Kash Patel seriously when he looks like a rapist Harry Potter.
Yeah, this is from last year. No, there's no evidence whatsoever. And he's saying that definitively. From the files we have, no, there's no evidence of any of that shit. God, it's all so tiresome. I mentioned
It's like
this
he's about
last
to complain about fucking geography homework, not like
Yeah.
the fucking FBI.
And I mentioned this last week, that it seemed interesting to me that they dropped all of the files all at once. And it's just thousands and thousands of documents. It's so much information. It is quite literally information overload. People can't reasonably process, not even with AI and stuff now, all of that kind of information, in a way that they can make comprehensive lists on it. Sorry, I'm trying to find an allergy pill. Do I have any? Because I can tell that I'm losing my voice. And I don't have any. Shit.
They're in your bag.
Huh?
They're in your bag.
Are they? Well, I'm going to get in a minute. I'm
really want to
going
drink
to
truthful anyway.
That's fine. I'll finish my thought here, though, and I'll tell it to be gone. There's a lot of information overload with all of this stuff. And it makes it so that you forget. This is a side effect of it, or maybe an intentional effect. I do think it's intentional, but maybe not the main effect. One effect of it is that you forget about stuff like this. You forget that Kash Patel said just a year ago, no, never. You forget that people like Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon were on the air in 2020 saying this is a racist, anti-Semitic, bigoted hate crime. And there's so many people that are involved in this. You just put it out in one giant glob, one big pile, and all kinds of people end up falling through the cracks, even with everyone's best intentions. Thank you, Bill. Sorry. Wait. I have to take an allergy pill at least once a day, or else my throat gets all icky, for lack of a better word. Okay. That's part of it. This post I did want to bring up because it's also quite good, I think, on explaining the over-inundation. Lawyer here, the method with which the Epstein files are being released is deliberately designed to put you in a psychological trance. This is their strategy. Here's how I know this. In trial practice, when there are exhibits involving violence, children, or extreme harm, we do not simply dump information into the room. We go back and forth extensively about how and when something is shown. The judge guides the process. Experts contextualize it. It's in a container equipped to hold this type of content. Courts understand that when the brain is flooded with horror, your system gets hijacked. this is called it's amygdala hijacking is the term for it, by the primal brain. You go into hypervigilance, rage, obsession, and collapse. We have a name for this. Reptile. She's using different terms. It's just some lawyer. Sorry, I'm using the correct ones. It's amygdala hijack. Reptile theories trial strat. Oh no, sorry, this is a political term. Reptile theories is a trial strategy built on this premise. If you can bypass the cognitive brain and activate the primitive survival brain, the oldest reptilian part of the brain, you can control outcomes without ever persuading on facts or law. Strategy is not allowed at trial for a reason, right? I just happened to see that post. I was like, yeah, damn, that's a good point. Amygdala hijacking, and also the fact that it lets individuals who are in it slip through the cracks of it, and it kind of fucks up your ability to be vigilant because it's also horrific information. This kind of stuff evokes mortality salience, and mortality salience is activated. Most of the time, what people want to do is go away from the thing that evokes mortality salience. That's thoughts of death, right? Because it causes psychological distress. Anywho. There was something else that was weird in terms of the timing is that the Super Bowl was last week, which I don't give a fuck about, but there was a Super Bowl ad with the survivors. Did they just film this kind of last minute? I mean, it's not like it's a complicated ad, but I just found that odd. But this is what they played at the Super Bowl, right? It's like, there's no escaping this stuff now. And that I also do find strange. Just all of it. I find a little strange. We're just kind of like going on as normal, doing advertisements at the Super Bowl for the fact that a massive fucking pedophile ring, all the information about it, which we suspected but didn't have definitive proof of, that involved people at like every level of government, was just going on for decades. And we play an ad about it at the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't even know how to. It's hyper reality stuff that is very strange. But here it is. I have a word other than strange. I'll have to come up with bizarre. I mean, I guess this didn't take long to film. And they're talking about releasing more of the files, right? That's the premise.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
Because she deserves the truth.
Because we all deserve the truth.
I do like the fact that it's like, fuck you, Pam Bondi. As I'm gonna get into here in a minute. Because fuck you, Pam Bondi. But yeah, I thought it was strange to put that at the Super Bowl. I don't know. I didn't want to talk about the Super Bowl in any other capacity because I find both sides of this extremely cringe. I don't really care about sport ball in general, but it is indicative of the state of the U.S., where the superb owl is represented by America First, or not America First. What is it? What's Charlie Kirk's organization? That
Turning Point.
Turning Point. America First is Fuentes, obviously, but very different. But it's Turning Point's version of the Super Bowl halftime show versus the normie version of the halftime show, and the normie version was just in Spanish and about how immigrants are great.
And was not visible from the fucking stands.
Yeah, and Turning Points was big mega church stuff. I don't know how much I could play in terms of the sound, but yeah.
I wouldn't even put the sound on.
But, yeah. Like, you can just see the images are enough of this is the lefty/mainstream, and then here's Turning Points. The duality of American.
All I'm learning here is that Molly and ketamine are far too cheap.
To be fair, but like, they're
He's
both,
always right
Jesus
about the Americans.
Christ. Oh my god.
And the ketamine.
Yeah, and the ketamine kicks in.
Really, like, you can tell the room smells of like Ben Gay and horse trank.
Yeah. But you know what? Out of the two, I think I'd rather be there than here. Imagine the smell.
Where are the bodies, Garth?
Oh my god.
Where are the bodies?
It's not Garth Books, is it?
No, it's not.
Where are the
Same genre.
bodies, Garth, though?
Visibly the same genre.
Just revolting. Ugh.
I like how the crowd isn't really even enjoying the crowd's just like, why are we seeing this?
No, because can't see fuck all.
Yeah, I don't think they had it up on the. Do they have it
There,
up on the
there
screen
is
even?
no. I think it might be on a big screen, but you can't see into this like hedge
Yeah,
maze
into this
from the
cotton
stand.
field that they were cornfield they put themselves in, and I don't know, with a taqueria or excuse me, La Marqueta. It's a market. Wow, I don't know. It's just fucking stupid, and it's all at this point so blatantly and obviously political. Oh, what's the mainstream? What is the current narrative? Immigration stuff. Let's talk about. Let's do a whole thing in Spanish, and then you go over to Turning Point, and it's, you know, country, smooth country music, I guess.
Reggaeton is in my mind in the same stuff as like Afrobeat. It's like,
Is it a
congratulations, you're not a
Sugarfield?
real
Oh,
fucking
okay.
genre.
Yeah, it's all very Jewish, actually, to be honest. So anyway, Super Bowl happened. But the reason why those women released that video, of course, was in large part, to demand the release of other files. And also because, this was out last week as well, the reason why they redacted them, by the way, why they stated the purpose for the redactions is because some of the victims, their survivors' names and information was not redacted in the first place. Which, by the way, they've had so long to go through these things, and so much of them are redacted. The fact that they could fuck this up is appalling. However, I do wonder if that's why. I don't like. That's the thing too. Is that there's always sort of an implication when you talk about these, people in high positions of power. Yes, they have extreme power, but they also operate within bureaucracy, and not every single rung of the ladder is equally competent or equally powerful, obviously. So they do fuck up all the time, which is a kind of a positive way to look at things. To be fair, I'd say it's a little white pilling. The people in power are also fuck ups. They fuck up all the time. So whatever happened, they went through and redacted more of the stuff because, of course, the survivors were disgusted by this as well, I'm sure. So they are demanding. There's a bunch of different. The other thing is too, is that some of their names got leaked, but the files seemed extremely thorough about making sure some of the people being accused, people being involved, that their names were redacted, which is disgusting, right?
There were a few places where they were not what they were meant to be, but it was all people who were already in the files elsewhere.
Right.
So like Lutton and that were turning up uncensored in places where they apparently should have been censored because it wasn't meant to be drawing attention.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, that's the whole problem. Okay, this person's in the files, so why would you? So their name their name should not be redacted anywhere, but then they still redacted it in places. I don't know. Again, if it's some of it probably is incompetence, some of it is bloated bureaucracy, some of it is. I think they are obviously trying to.
If
protect
someone was
people.
formally cleared of suspicion in something that's written in the fucking file, it should just be a footnote. It should not be a full redaction.
Mm-hmm. However, the people whose names they made sure to censor, though, were people of interest. Not always. These, again, several of these women ended up having their names and their information included out of all of the redactions. And it is just a spit in the face. Speaking of spitting in the face, Pam Bondi is not just useless, but I am so revolted by her. This is in response specifically to the victim's information being still included. First of all, look at her fucking face. Smug as fuck face.
Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through?
Now, this bitch is annoying. I get it. But you let victims... You had a very long time to go through these files. You managed to get lots of other people's names cleaned out of it and information cleaned out of it, but you couldn't actually prioritize the victims? Like, I'm sorry, but leftoid or not, I don't really give a shit. That is an operative, obvious question there. That's the stuff that doesn't matter to you. And it's so obvious, because that's not what they care about. They care about, obviously protecting their own asses, and certain people whose asses need to be protected, and so on. Because this is also, in my opinion, tell me what you think, Spoon and Bill, they obviously have not released all of the files. That's the question. We've been given still a sampler platter of things that have been handpicked. They still can't get this right. There's millions of these things. It's made to make you feel like you've been satiated. Look, the Epstein files got released. It's all out here now.
There's so many of them. That should be all of them, and you realise that this is probably like a tenth of them.
Yeah. So
It would have been. It should all be released at once. I'm sick of this bullshit. I said
Well,
last week.
no,
the same
now they're
thing.
saying
it
it's
should
over.
all be released at once. Then it's just a case of working our way through the material.
But that's the thing. Well, Bondi said this as well. She's done with it. The White House has done everything. We've fulfilled everything we wanted to do. Files are all out there now. And now everything's been exposed. No, of course not. You were given a very specific sampler platter to make you feel assuaged. At least that's my opinion. What do you think, Spoon? That this was just this is bread and circuses. In many, like, there's real stuff in there, but a lot of it's just to get people to shut up. Oh no, Spoon's not here. And going back to the information overload stuff, that would lead into it as well. Now you don't want to hear anything more about it because it's disgusting and it makes you feel ill. Because it should, because this is revolting. I don't know.
0 arrests, though. Good to
Right.
know.
Wait, 0 arrests. Great. I'm glad, I guess,
It's
that we know
impossible
some
to
of this
take
stuff,
seriously.
but do be aware that what we are getting is what's handpicked by the DOJ.
It means fucking nothing unless a head's in a noose. I'm sorry.
And handpicked specifically by this woman, who has remembered to clear some people's names out of here, but but the one thing you should have been the most careful with in this entire release, which again I think is largely performative and for show, to get people to shut up. You couldn't make sure that you had the fucking victims' names and information censored. And she just looks annoyed by it.
With the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information.
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General
Twice.
Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you.
Dude, she's right. You should reclaim your fucking time. She's going on a fucking tangent. She's trying to get out of answering this question. Who is this brown? I know who she is. I wish Spoon was here because I bet he does know her name. It's I can't access it right now. It might appear to me at some point. Do they have it up here? Do they say who this is? God, I do know who it is, but I can't think of her fucking name. I don't think so. Oh well.
Specific question
Attorney General
that
can
I would
respond to your
like
question.
you to answer, which is, will you turn to the
It's Hirono,
This
yeah.
is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for
Thank you,
your
Arden.
Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she
It
doesn't
is
like the
my
answer.
time.
So,
I don't like the answer either, by the way. This is something you have to answer for, dude. You fucked up the one thing that was most important if you're giving this information out to the public, is to make sure that the people who were harmed don't get reharmed.
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't
a
she
question.
ask Merrick Garland this?
I am
Twice,
reclaiming
when
my
he sat in
time,
my
and
chair.
when I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
I don't give a fuck, Pam. This is on your desk. This is your operation, and you fucked it up. Again. I can't believe she's, well, I can't believe that she's still operating this administration. But of course she is. And this is who, we didn't get Matt Gaetz. We get this bitch.
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady's
I'm
reclaimed
not
her
going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs.
The
time belongs to the general.
I actually don't. Hirono is often, and thank you for running over her name, is often theatrical, but I don't think she was being there. I think she was actually being quite reasonable. This is a big deal.
Gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me.
Oh, is Spoon arguing with Razorfist on Twitter right now? Is that what's going on? Is that why he's not responding? We'll get to the Razorfist stuff in a minute, Spoon, then you can tell us about your escapades.
I'll direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness is interrupted.
The gutter with this woman. She's doing
Just shut up.
The gentlelady from Washington can.
Okay, it's pointless. Does it keep going? It
The
does.
gentlelady has
Oh.
17 seconds. You can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would.
In many ways, he did.
Then you got into office, Attorney General.
I mean, I would argue it's not the center.
Don't interrupt your opponent when they're actually doing something in your favor.
Yeah, well, I agree with her. You know?
To have a client list. Only
Regular
to
order.
then
Being right is not a unique matter.
list. Your deputy,
true.
Todd Blanche, met alone with Ghislaine Maxwell
time of the
and
gentlelady has
transferred
expired.
her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the
time of the
cover-up. And
gentlelady
I
has
wish
expired.
that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level,
Chairman,
apologize
Chair now
to them
recognizes the chair.
on what you have done.
Time of the
I
gentlelady
yield
expired.
back.
The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back.
Theatric.
We appreciate that. We appreciate the thought. And I would argue the central issue.
However,
of the presidential election, was securing.
You gonna apologize? No. Instead, just act offended. Yeah, I know, women talking. Here's a man talking, at least. This is again Raskin, and sorry, these are questions she needs to be asked, because it's ridiculous.
That will be your legacy unless you act quickly to change course. You're running a massive Epstein cover-up right out of the Department of Justice. You've been ordered by subpoena and by Congress to turn over 6 million documents, photographs, and videos in
6 million is what they've got.
but you've turned over only
There's a
3
number.
We got like 100,000, so yeah.
You say you're not turning over the other 3 million because they're somehow duplicative, but we know that there are actual memos of victim statements in there, and you also took down.
Who was it if it's not Hirono? Tiger
Prosecution
Bomb.
memo from 2019.
It looked like Hirono to me.
Not all duplicative, but even if it were, why not release it? Just release all the duplicative stuff. In the half you did produce, you redacted the names of abusers, enablers, accomplices, and co-conspirators, apparently to spare them embarrassment and disgrace, which is the exact opposite of what the law ordered you to do.
Uh-oh.
Even worse, you
Oh no, hang on. 1 second, my browser just crashed, which I thought might happen because I was using a different browser today.
shockingly failed
there we go.
to redact many of the victims' names, which is what you were ordered to do by Congress. Some of the victims had come forward publicly, but many had not. Many had kept their torment private, even from family and friends. But you published their names, their identities, their images.
No, that's not Hirono. It wasn't.
Thousands of pages for the world to see. So you ignored the law, and even with over 100,000 employees at your disposal, you acted with some mixture of staggering incompetence, cold indifference, and jaded cruelty towards more than 1,000.
I gotta say, her face right now does display, and the previous interaction, cold indifference.
Did you notice the hand thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
The usual, I am about to say something that will completely deny any culpability whatsoever on something I'm blatantly to blame for.
Right,
Well,
right.
she is a woman.
You see that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you see that hand motion of just physically feeling out about the boundary of personal space with the fingers, you're about to hear the worst possible take.
Exactly. And you're right, Simply Green. I don't want to hear Raskin complain about people ignoring the law, though. I know. It's like, again, it's the worst person you know just made a good point kind of thing.
Raped, abused, and trafficked. This performance screams cover up.
Let's see. Bonnie doesn't deserve this. We all know she's just there to do PR, not to work. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
However, she is there to be the PR, which means she does deserve it, actually. That's what her job is to take this heat if they're going to have her go out here and do this shit. However, and I'll tell you, because Trump has removed this woman, to give you a comparison between the two. So this is Carrie Perjean Bowler has been removed from Trump's Religious Liberty Commission. No member of the commission has the right to hijack a hearing. So this is what they're talking about. So this one was removed. This was just today, right? She's been removed for saying this. Again, Trump won't fire Pam Bondi. Got rid of this woman quick.
Stop carelessly labeling people anti-Semites. Catholic Christianity does not in any way require you to embrace Zionism as a fulfilled prophecy. So what I've heard today is that if you don't support Zionism, you are an anti-Semite. I'm a Catholic, and Catholics do not embrace Zionism, just so you know. So are all Catholics anti-Semites, according to you?
As I said, anti-Zionism.
So just to be clear, are Catholics anti-Semite?
I'm going to interrupt the discussion. Our committee is focused on religious liberty taken from all people.
Right, but we're talking about a foreign nation, so I want to be clear on what the definition of anti-Semitism is. If I don't support the political state of Israel, am I an anti-Semite? Yes or no?
They already answered, asked and answered.
According to you, on the record, yes? I don't agree with that, because as a Catholic, I don't agree that...
Yes, on the record, yes. Being critical of the state of Israel is anti-Zionistic, which is anti-Semitic, which means it is a violation of religious freedoms.
The new modern state of Israel has any biblical prophecy meaning at all. So that's my stance, and I'm Catholic.
And she's gone.
She's someone with Sephardic blood as well, so it's not like it was a genetic thing.
True.
So,
I couldn't tell that. I'm sure you could. Carrie Pre-Jean Bowler, yes. And yes, it was not Herona. We figured out who it was. Pramila Jayapal. There we go. She was part of, like, she's mainstream damn. I've seen her before, and I'm vaguely familiar with her. Rambam for £5 says, here's a depressing thought. What if this is all distraction from something else they're up to or about to do? Always consider that as a possibility.
Yeah.
Is, you know, okay, why are they doing this now? Because again, it is overwhelming. Everyone's looking at it. So, you know, why do they want us to look here right now instead of looking somewhere else? Blitzen for 5 says, watching these politicians reminds me of Schopenhauer's "We are ruled by idiots." Indeed, right? We are ruled by idiots. That's why Spootin and I are monarchists. So the co-conspirators, some of that stuff, some of them have been released. The names of 3 people they were called co-conspirators, and this is at Thomas Massey's behest, essentially. And the 3 people the FBI once called co-conspirators after lawmakers complained that the names had been improperly withheld. So again, here's names of people who were withheld. Justice Department unredacted parts of a 2019 FBI internal document from the Bureau's Criminal Investigation Division, which included a reference to billionaire Les Wexner as a co-conspirator, and it reposted it after Reps Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna complained that the department had violated the Epstein Files Transparency Act by redacting the names. Massey and Khanna co-authored the bill which compelled the Justice Department to release all of its records on Epstein, and they have been vocally critical of department's handling of the release. This is well-known retired CEO. The DOJ should unredact this. Why did they redact this? Massey wrote on X. Let's see. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche responded to this in a post of his own, saying, "The document you cite has numerous victims' names." The fucking audacity, though, right? You did leave victims' names and information in this, but you don't want to go through in this document and just make sure that his name is present. Are you so incompetent you can't update the files just with this guy or with some of the other people that the co-conspirators that you have redacted? Goddamn. Newly released version of the document shows 8 people are listed as co-conspirators, including 4 of whose names were not redacted. Wexner, former CEO of Victoria's Secret, Leslie Groff, Epstein's longtime secretary, the late modeling agent Jean-Luc Brunel, and Ghislaine Maxwell, the only person who was charged with connection to Epstein. 4 other names in the document are still redacted. It's unclear who these people are, the prosecutors have said. That Epstein used women he preyed on as recruiters. A separate document dated to 2019 indicated that some of the other victims as well, and had been cooperating with investigators. So at least, you know, we've got one more guy's name released, at least, or clarified on it, and all of his, you know, associated emails and information. And that's because Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna have actually been pursuing this. It's why I have been, as I said earlier, continually impressed by Thomas Massey. But again, this does indicate just how much information is being left out or partially redacted. Going back to Pam Bondi, though, you know, while he's actually getting stuff done regarding these files, this is what Pam Bondi is talking about during her time.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over...
I would be laughing too. You're going to start talking about the Dow Jones in this
Literally,
hearing
my
about-
GDP.
I mean, it's comical.
Like, not even my GDP, my stock market.
My stock market. Why are we talking about this pedophile ring? Stonks, okay?
50,000.
I like the stonk. We're diamond hands.
Last I checked, her department was not concerned with
Yeah, what?
what shit stocks are like.
Who gives a fuck? It's
Department
not your.
of Justice.
Yeah, it is nothing to do with you. You're
If
the
anything,
AG.
the stock market being in a massive boom like this should make you suspicious.
It's just like you're the AG. Who gives a fuck about stonks?
Also, you just made a crack about Raskin insider trading, yet he's not arrested.
Well, maybe he should be, but I mean, I think all these people are
I
criminals.
think if you're in that building, you should be arrested on principle.
Pretty much.
Right now, the S&P at almost 7,000.
Dude.
The NASDAQ smashing records.
She's
Americans'
revolting.
401ks and retirement savings are booming.
Oh yeah, the stuff that only the boomers will live long enough to enjoy. Good to
Right, indeed. Yeah, so happy to hear
Yeah.
about that. Glad the boomers are going to get a couple more.
see the rest of you when we're retiring at the age of 80, when we're already been dead for 10 years.
Yeah. Rambam for 20 pounds says, the fact that abused women were turned into recruiters puts me in mind of dancing boys in Afghanistan. That's how the grooming works, right? Is that you don't know how you're going to survive without these people. They've got horrible, obviously, dirt on you. You don't know any other life in many
And they're
cases.
probably moving you up in the
Codependency as well.
And as soon as they have you doing one thing, they'll just blackmail you to do more and worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who, when after being abused, become abusers themselves.
Yes, because it's so psychologically damaging, indeed. One of the people that I didn't get to last week, who's also involved in this, is fucking Bobby Kotick, CEO of Activision Blizzard. Well, at least in that he had emails. This, again, because there's so many people. I didn't see this last week, and I don't know if it did even, because he was looking up Bobby Kotick. So, here are some emails he had. This is Pablos Holman. Is it supposed to be Bobby Kotick as well? Is he just, name on just in some of these? This one's from Bobby Kotick. I don't know who this other guy is, but oh yeah, president of Call of Duty Activision. Subject: I'm all for indoctrinating kids into an economy. You gotta love this example for real world rewards is virtual items in games. Oh, here's Bobby. He says to me, X Prize is a good idea, but oh yeah, real world rewards. Learn to read, earn cell phone minutes, iPhone credits, virtual items in games. So here they are in 2013 talking about real world financial integration, turning this shit into slot machines. Games for kids, specifically. This is from...
This recontextualizes microtransactions in a very fucking
Indeed.
vicious light.
All the microtransactions shit. Here they are, conspiring about it. Let's see. This is 2018. Dear colleagues, diversity is a core of our mission and the right thing to do for our business. That's why you heard AG and me and other company leaders talk about our commitment to belong to... Like, this is kind of boring. That sort of stuff. Here we go. Here's from to Bobby Kotick. And meeting with Joel Klein Monday. Any edutainment games you like already out there? Play Medal of Honor or Call of Duty and you will learn more history. Here's what I've been thinking. Video games are already great at teaching. If they don't assess your level and put you in an appropriate challenge right in front of you, the game fails. Challenge too hard and you get frustrated and quit playing. Too easy and the game is no fun. It's exactly what a good teacher or tutor would do. Anyway, today's video games don't try to teach stuff we care about, except for shooting bad guys. The best scheme I've come up with so far is to use X Prize for something like it to co-opt the existing video games industry. Give out a prize to the game that comes up with the best way of teaching kids anything from a normal school curriculum. I let them pick whatever they want to teach. You want to skip convincing educators. Imagine you're looking at a door in a video game. It has some squiggly symbols printed on it. Little munchkins walk up to the door and say konnichiwa, and the door opens and you're greeted by a hot princess with big tits and a thong. The door closes in your face. You're going to fucking learn to read Japanese and pronounce kanji. You don't pronounce kanji. Jeff. Kanji is a
I think he has bigger corrections to go through in his apparent life.
Sorry. I
Before we
know,
get to his
but
fucking-
I'm getting a little indignant. He's going to say shit like that and not know what it means. Unleash that on 5th grade boys, and next thing you know, you'll have an entire generation of bilingual kids speaking Japanese to each other behind the backs of their parents and teachers. We have to keep the boobs and guns and profit. You'll see how much money video games are making. You see how much money video games are making these days. Fuck educational reform. We need educational subversion. What? So Gamergate, so Gamergate stuff, maybe. Dude, well, of course we knew about some of that. Other things that we're finding out retroactively because of this that are interesting, for example, is there's this guy, Yale computer science professor David Gellertner, is defending almost 6 years of email correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein, including a recommendation for a student he described as completely connected, very small, good-looking blonde, reportedly saying that he was only trying to keep the potential boss's habits in mind. So he knew this guy was... well, he knew this about Epstein, that he was a sex pest, and is still trying to set him up with a student? I mean, say, alone... on countless reasons, massive ethics failure, and should cost you your position as a professor. One of your first duties, particularly as a, you know, if you're teaching like doctoral level school, but in any level, is to protect your students. But of course, people like this don't care about shit like that. Epstein-Geltner reportedly wrote in an email sent Wednesday to the dean of Yale's School of Engineering and Applied Science, would have asked for a lot more aesthetic detail if he had not already included information about the student's appearance. He added, as long as I said nothing that dishonored her in any conceivable way, I'd have told him more or less what he wanted. She was smart, charming, and gorgeous. Ought to have suppressed that info? Never, says this guy, who sounds like he was trying to pimp out his student to Epstein. Well, here's an interesting thing about this guy. Turns out, Uncle Ted, right again.
Don't miss.
He don't miss. I mean, he did, but Unabomber mails bomb injuries. Mail bomb injures Yale professor. In 1993, Yale computer science professor David Gellertner is seriously injured while opening his mail when a padded envelope explodes in his hands. The attacks came just 2 days after University of California geneticist was injured by a similar explosive and was the latest in a string of bombings since 1978 that authorities believed to be related.
Geneticist.
And he was, well, it was a geneticist in California. This guy was a computer scientist.
Yeah, but what do we know about Epstein? He was obsessed with eugenics.
He was obsessed with eugenics, yeah.
I would say that everyone in the Unabomber injuries list, you should be looking into who they were.
Take a double look at, yeah.
Because I'm smelling a through route here. Now, that I don't think the secretary probably had it coming. I'm fairly certain she was just handling the mail.
Yeah,
exactly. I wonder
exactly.
who she's secretary to.
Exactly, Drakenblade. Uncle Ted had some good insights, terrible demolition ship, though. That was the problem. But good insights. I mean, he had this guy. He was trying to kill this guy in 1993. Long fucking time ago. Speaking of
4 years
being
old?
alive, and I would have been 3.
4.
I would have
I
just
would have
turned
been.
3 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were 4. I would have just turned 3.
Fucking insane.
A couple days earlier. So, sorry, what was this now? Oh, right. Speaking of being alive and not dead, or having mail bombs thrown to you, right? It is curious of whether or not Epstein himself is actually alive. I know there were pictures going around saying someone who looked like him was in Israel. Some of them were, I think, AI. A lot of them were
Most
AI.
of the people in Israel looked like him, to be fair.
One sec, I'm going to clear my throat.
What, shady as hell, or?
I'm glad you're back, Spoon, by the way. Let's see. Newly released documents show FBI agent removed the hard drive from the jail cell's camera, wiping all the footage from the night Jeffrey Epstein died. No video, no record, no accountability. We didn't lose the evidence, they erased it. Yeah. So. It says, Blank advised that only one hard drive of the camera system was working at the time of the incident in 2019. When a DVR went bad, none of the cameras recorded. There was a system failure of DVK2 on July 29, 2019, and the motherboard failed on DVR2 on August 8th, 2019. The hard drive failure occurred, yeah. After the incident, Blank was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean that all prior data would be lost. The warden that said, though. I think that's the only one. Oh, no, it's because I opened it in a new tab. Here we go. Second one.
Why we're changing the hard drive?
Yeah, what?
Wipe.
How does
It's ridiculous.
it doesn't make any sense. Blank advised that an FBI agent was the one who pulled the DVR, also advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and that he had advised personnel at MCC of that. So an FBI agent
knowing
took
full
the hard
well.
drives and wiped it from the jail
And again,
system.
why would your system auto wipe anything?
Yeah, what?
It's the backup system for a security system.
Yeah. Yeah. Very curious. So is Epstein alive? I don't know. Probably not. But this was a coordinated effort to hide this shit, you know? So I thought, do you want to talk about the cannibal stuff? I know we played a little bit of Flesh Simulator.
Flesh Simulator
video.
really handled it the best.
He did. So I'll play a little bit of his video. We won't watch too much of it. Again, just like last week, since I watched some of the Flesh Simulator video.
Look at the concerns, man.
Yeah, well, I was concerned as well.
I wasn't really intending to make another Epstein video. Certainly not as quickly as this. However, as I think most of us can agree, the files have been pretty bad. They've kind of blown everyone's hair back. But oh boy, I found something that is significantly more alarming.
I don't know. That's my only contention. These people ritualistically rape kids. I don't know if cannibalism. I don't know.
Well, there's one line in here which does kind of make you go, "Oh, fuck."
It's not. Well, they're raping and cannibalizing children.
No, it's something that Epstein says regarding his diet.
Oh, right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if will we get far enough to that bit.
No, because it's quite late. But I would heavily suggest that you watch this video. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you what his words were.
Yeah.
Considering what we're going to go into, he said he complains because there's no jerky at the place he's at, and that is all he eats.
Right.
Oh, that. I remember that bit.
It's all he eats. Well, it's like, will I, what was that? I'll walk over with the jerky to you and stuff like that. So jerky is clearly another one of their code words. It sounds like potentially for human flesh.
I guess we're going to start.
It's the special stuff, in essence.
Yeah.
These are, I believe, 61 of the 380 emails that I found. What was I searching? Well, I got a tip to look for the word jerky. Let's take a look at these. To Jeffrey Epstein from blank. May 4th, 2013. At almost 1 in the morning. Subject, jerky. Francis has time to come tomorrow to show me how to make it.
First of all, just about all this stuff. Nobody talks about food the way these people do all of the time. This is not stuff you email people about. At least, you guys know me. I love cooking, and I cook all the time. I don't talk about food like this, or at all. Like
It's always the same phraseology. There's never any
Yes.
changes in terms, and
Yeah.
it's very obvious when something is encoded.
Yeah.
Jerky class, anyone? He will also bring you a taste of his new jerky recipe from the restaurant, and sends a warm hello. He is working at a restaurant called Cannibal, and cooks, wait for it, beef jerky and steak. He has time at 3 p.m. tomorrow if this is okay with you.
Yeah. What?
That's not a great foot to start off on. Like, this next one is from...
Dude, one of the reasons I do like his coverage of this and him in general is that when he talks about this stuff, it very well does reflect the way I feel flabbergasted by this. It, like, just horrific stuff that's in these files.
To Francis. Presumably Francis Derby, who is a name that we will become quite acquainted with. Subject, beef jerky. Hi, blank. J.E. is asking to bring him more beef jerky on Friday. Are you also flying on Friday? If not, I would like to collect it from you and take it with me on the plane. Please
Collect
let
it
me know.
from you.
Thanks, Karina. And then from the...
Normally, could you drop it off or something? If you're gonna, if it's jerky, if it's actually...
It's being spoken about like it's a
collect it.
person,
Like, it's being spoken about like a
like
person.
it's still alive.
Yes.
Aforementioned Francis. I'm flying on Friday. I will bring jerky. Okay, that's a little weird, but let's continue. From Francis Derby to blank. Subject, jerky. Just wanted to touch base about jerky. J.E.
Nobody, they're talking about eating people, eating children, right?
He said he was going to start eating regular food again, so he might be eating less jerky.
Regular food.
That said, he has 6 bags of it in the downstairs freezer for his next trip. I believe it should be enough to get him through. Any other questions, please let me know.
Eating regular food again, implying all he eats, if this is human flesh, is human flesh. Is human meat.
Thank you.
6 bags in the freezer.
So this is a different reply from blank to Francis. Hi, Francis. J.E. has asked me to email you and ask whether you would be able to teach me to make the beef jerky. Thank you, blank. Then from Francis Derby, blank, I will come to teach a jerky class, and we can also cover chocolate cream pie if you can agree to pay me through this pay period.
What the fuck, dude? Well, what is chocolate cream pie? I don't want to know. But what the fuck? That's the thing, isn't with all this stuff. What is this? What are all these filthy, disgusting codes they've got for the unholy, satanic shit they were doing?
So I would then receive my last full paycheck on the 29th of this month. Those are two foods that typically don't go together.
Yeah, that too.
A jerky class, okay. Here we go. From blank to blank, blank, another blank, Karina Shuliak, blank, subject.
Everyone is crossed out of this.
1/3 organic tamari soy sauce. Sauce spelled with 2 S's. 3 tablespoons sweet soy sauce, keycap manis. 2 tablespoons.
It's a type of soy sauce.
Ginger, 2 tablespoons lemongrass, fresh cut. And 2 pounds of jerky. Now, the reply. This is all I have, unfortunately. I don't know what kind of meat he was using, but Steve should know if you are not sure either. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. To Jeffrey Epstein.
I'm sorry I'm getting a little quiet. This is just so revolting and shocking.
November 7th, 2013. Subject, jerky. Should blank be making more jerky?
We do have that. I don't want to take all the Flesh Simulators video. Here, I'll post a link here in the chat to watch the rest of it. If you're more interested in the jerky stuff. I know it does, and I don't want to step on it.
That was just one for the in the chat. It gets more aggressive. You
Yeah,
really
it
should
gets-
be watching Flesh Simulator stuff at this point.
Yeah, it's a great channel. I follow him on Twitter too. Yeah, if you do so, if you do X things. Slosher for 20 Canadian says, scary to learn that the White Glove Society from Fallout New Vegas isn't really fiction. I know.
Yeah, when I realised that the second that Mr. House found out about them, he immediately ordered them like just lined up against the wall. I'm starting to come around on all Greg.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, he was right.
I've always hated him, but it's like,
Oh, I like House. Speaking of Spoon, are you there? Has he drifted off into the ether again? Because this is now what he should be here now. I'm going to talk about Patrick Casey. We're talking about Mr. House Spoon. Just use like code words.
Stop arguing with Razor Fist and come back to the podcast.
We were about to talk about that, so his intentional avoidance of the gay JQ is infuriating. Midnight in Exile. Well, he is Jewish, so
Every time you
Flesh
do
Simulator.
this, Spoon, there's 3 more people that will just put the sword fund at the bottom of their donation just to spite you.
I don't know where he's gone. Is he arguing with people on Twitter? Well, I'm talking about arguing on Twitter, Spoon. Jesus. Okay.
Away on something, but he didn't mention anything.
Yeah. Okay. So AA said, rather than following discredited clowns like Captive Dreamer on social media, Chud should be forming spontaneous Praetorian Guard units to protect Thomas Massey at all times and all places. Very based. I agree. And this guy, Patrick Casey, responds by saying, disgraced Iranian blogger Nima Parvini has taken to writing fan fiction about Chud's forming Praetorian Guard units to protect Thomas Massey, whose Epstein grandstanding becomes more farcical by the day. Sad stuff. To call this cape shit would be an understatement. Why do all these people fucking downplay this shit? It's starting to look a little fucking suspicious. Well, Massey's not going to release anything, by the way. Well, he already got one guy's name put back on it, where it needed to be. I don't know if he can, but I'd rather trust and hope that if anyone is going to do it, I would put my trust and hope in Thomas Massey. Out of all of these, people in DC.
Bozos.
Out of all these bozos, I'd much rather put my trust and hope in Thomas Massey than very few other people. So, let's see. Is this the next one? Right. and it's more of the same. Here's Patrick Casey saying, Epstein was a scumbag, a pervert, and forgive me for even uttering the word, a liberal. But if there's hard evidence he was running an underage sex trafficking / blackmail operation, I haven't seen it. Posted today.
When we've got documents where he's explicitly saying that.
What the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? This guy's got 83,000 followers. And fucking around with AA and stuff like this. But I did bring him up because, again, if Spoon gets here, he is retweeting, and I think vice versa, retweeting back and forth with Razorfist, who has also gotten involved in this. And I found this because Patrick Casey retweeted this tweet right here. So he's quoting Patrick Casey saying disgraced Iranian blogger, and Razorfist says some clown who flagged a video I made roasting him as harassment. Same clown, which there is no evidence of this. And if you remember a couple months ago, oh yeah, proof. That's not proof. We covered this video. What happened was Razorfist made a 10-minute long video where he just screamed and ranted about AA and making a bunch of ad hominem attacks on his person. He did not address any points that AA made. AA mentioned him in passing, and Razorfist made a whole video, and the video was just personal attacks, very aggressive personal attacks, and then the video got struck for harassment. Well, sorry, I don't agree with it, okay? I don't agree with YouTube's moderation system, but how you've been doing this for well over a decade. You haven't figured out now that you can't just make a video where you just say horrific and also insulting his race and his ethnicity and stuff, which is, again, I think you should be able to do that. But what the fuck? How are you operating on YouTube and not realize that you can't just insult someone's race and ethnicity and like that and offer no substantive rebukes or rebuttals and then not expect that video to get taken down by somebody, right? And again, we watched it. It was fucking egregious. There was no substantive points made to it. I just find it curious that this Patrick Casey guy, who is seriously downplaying the Epstein stuff, and Razorfist are getting along. And I wish Spoon was here because he's been the one who's actually fucking been engaging with this.
If it wasn't for the fact that the Hollywood Was Always Red video did so well and was very well put together, I would think that Razorfist is a left-wing person doing a parody of right-wing people.
Damn, I wish Spoon was here. When he gets back, remind me to bring this up, because he knows about the in and outs of this and how it's weird of both of these guys and their sort of strange takes on the... And they're not the only ones. There's tons of these people, ostensibly on the right, who have very, in my opinion, weird takes on the Epstein stuff, where it's like, just don't talk about it. Oh, it's a big nothing burger, essentially. The only thing that's a nothing burger about it is what I said earlier, which is that there's millions of files. There's tons of people we don't know about that are included in these as well, and everyone's just like, okay, well, it's done now, so let's forget about it and move on. That's the sense in which I think it's a nothing burger, is because it's a fraction. It is a fraction of the information that they have. Because, of course, they're all covering for each other. But you do have outsiders like Massey, and when people start going hard against Massey, particularly for this, good and for some other reasons, if it's logical, fine. But this is very strange to me. Specifically over this Epstein stuff, of him asking too many questions. He's wanting too much transparency on the Epstein stuff. Okay. Here's Thomas Massey. He says, it's all one big club, and you ain't in it. Epstein sponsored an event held by a John Paulson to honor Howard Lutnick, that guy we talked about earlier. John Paulson also appears in the Epstein Black Book. John Paulson is given $250,000 to defeat me, literally every fat cat. After me is in the files. Isn't it interesting? By the way, I'm not saying this about Patrick Casey or Razorfist, obviously. But it is I'm saying it's interesting that everybody who is after Thomas Massey is either implicit, knows about it, involved, or is somebody who has a tie to someone, even if they're just a fanboy, by the way, who is implicit in the know or involved.
My concern is that we've seen
Influence
before
networks.
that Epstein was willing to deal with people who were weirdly low on the totem pole. Like, he gave JF money, for fuck's sake.
Well, right. Yeah, let's not forget that. Yeah.
There is no position low enough in the social order that these dickheads were not somehow, grubbing around the place.
Yeah,
looking for
let us
support
not
or
forget
resources.
that Epstein gave research funding to Jean-François Gallipet.
Apparently not lessons in lying, though.
Oof.
Given,
She
you
was
know,
Mercurial. My
the
wife.
potato masher in chief has not gotten better at the Oblaf skill, I'll tell you all that much.
Indeed. Oh my god. But right, the tendrils of it do go down very far. So I'm obviously not saying every single, because that's ridiculous. However, if you're siding with people who are siding with people, like, and you're essentially, look, I'm not trying to cast too much aspersions, but this is a bit fucked. And Massey is right. The people who are going after him so hard, a lot of them in positions of power, are people whose names keep ending up in these files. People who keep, even if they're tertiarily involved. It stinks to me. By the way, like I said, I don't trust Thomas Massey because I don't trust any politician. But he looks far better than pretty much all of his competition right now, and has for a while. So, I'm going to move on then. I wish Spoon would come back so I could talk to him about the Razorfist stuff. But, whatever. Anyway, just interesting coincidence there again. Pam Bondi, however, going back to Pam Bondi vision, she's screeching about Thomas Massey in these hearings.
I think we can do that
Okay.
probably on
Next.
one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you. I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact. A list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production.
Fucking A. Hello, we have this list specifically of names that we want removed. Do not publish these names. These are victims. They just published the fucking email. Good God. Slime Hermit says Charlie Kirk's family parish in Arizona and Razor has a family parish in Arizona and Razor goes to it. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name.
Yeah,
and you
right. So it was a total accident because they did bother to redact some of the other stuff in the document.
Redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there.
Like I said earlier, it shows you how much they actually fucking care about the survivors and the victims of this stuff. They're just covering their own asses.
The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirators, fully redacted. And
He's at least gotten one name, again, put back on it for her.
Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over.
Just a big black square.
Because they have the names of the men who are
the clients.
implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document?
I mean, it's so sorry I'm being a bit quiet because he's on a roll here. Yeah, again, more than anyone, of course. Massey's out here asking the hardest, toughest questions, less waffling and woman shit, as we saw earlier. These are legitimate, like that. The fact that they released the email saying "do not release these names" is again comical, were it not so sad and depressing.
And again, they did go through and redact one name.
One name, which means they did, yeah, and didn't fucking bother with the names of the other victims.
Do you have that kind of accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner.
You corrected it after 40 minutes because you were pressured into it. And you're gonna
It should not have been like.
Right. Shouldn't have been redacted.
I got no time for people to say, "Oh, this hasn't been done." I was like, I fixed it in an hour after you told me. It should not have even been something I saw.
You know, her way of approaching this, her attitude towards this, is like, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to, mail you that email. I sent it to you like 30 minutes late or something. That kind of attitude.
The exact same thing you'd expect from a female office worker at the middle management level.
Yeah, middle management office worker. That's the kind of like sincerity and severity at which she's treating this. Insane.
Name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman.
This isn't how this works.
Can I have my time back?
Mr.
Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then.
No, I don't think you get to fucking answer it now because you were waffling and talking shit instead of answering the question. So bye, it's over now.
Move to
Chairman,
the next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes.
And then you did, and you chose not to answer. You waffled. So he's reclaiming his time. Fuck off.
Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction.
Where he's listed as a co.
You can laugh as much as you want, bitch, but he did catch you red-handed. This document said this has been a mess. It's been a mess since since second one. It's never stopped being a mess.
And we invited you in.
Gentlemen.
This guy has Trump derangement syndrome.
Shut up.
And you know continuing a role as literally just there to scuttle every single aspect of politics she's attached to.
When I talk about, yes, indeed. And when I was talking about earlier about how MAGA has become deeply uncool, there's nothing more uncool than this Karen attitude. You have Trump derangement syndrome. Fuck off. You failed, and you got called out by someone who actually cares. Clearly, more than your department does, because you published a list of victims' names that were specifically not supposed to be given, but managed to redact one name on that list, meaning you definitely looked at it.
You're a failed politician.
And also notice how that's the one that she chose to answer, was about the Wexler guy, not about the far more extreme one, which is that they just published a list of names that were not supposed to be published.
Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were,
this is what I played
bring
earlier.
The case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
Yeah.
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I'm reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because this
time
is
when you don't,
bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades.
It does.
You are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
now,
where the
I want to know at what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has
Which,
expired.
may she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn.
Another thing where it's like, oh, let me talk about the Dow Jones and the stonks. He was against the ban on AI porn. Well, I think that that is not an accurate description of what Massey was concerned with. It was overreach of government, right?
And flagrant incompetence.
With this fucking pivot, he's Trump derangement syndrome. He was against our ban on AI porn.
I'm starting to think she's been drinking.
Dude,
she's starting to sound like Kamala.
Yeah, dude, she does. She sounds like Kamala in terms of the non sequiturs. Yeah.
Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them.
Yeah, he does because he's critical of the government and its ability to do things correctly, as you are
It's nothing
so
to
thoroughly
do
demonstrating
with this
here.
fucking meeting.
Right. Yeah.
Hypocrite.
Just pissing money and time against the wall.
Indeed. Hypocrite, failed politician, Trump derangement syndrome. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's truly pathetic, honestly. Patrick Casey's a Fed, by the way. Look at his work history. Yeah. Massey, on the other hand, wants to have the names of all of the people who are not victims. Actually releasing the victims' names. That's what the government's fucked up. What he's asking for is to release the names of all the co-conspirators. All of them. Again. See, one of the only people talking about this, too. And then is being called out for it by people like Patrick Casey, people like Razor Fist. Get over it, man. We got it all now.
I'm ready to do that if the victims want me to. They believe that the best way to get justice is to force the DOJ to release these names. I've already read one name in a committee with the FBI director there. That's Jess Staley. And again, he may or may not be guilty, but he's been accused by these victims, the lawyer tells me. And there are other names. I don't have them in my possession. But if the victims want to give them to me, I've expressed that I'm willing to do that. But again, the best way is to force the DOJ to release those names on those 302 forms.
My point is, bringing these clips up, is that Massey's the only guy who seems to care. And so I get suspicious when people start going hard at Massey over this, which is one of the only ones who seems to have a conscience or a moral compass here. Or anything. Maybe it's all just political. I don't know. Speaking of it being political, Ben Shapiro, who, as you played last week, denied that these files even existed. Oh no, is this not going to work? Actually, finally, has gone through the Epstein files, the things he said didn't exist and weren't real, to just shit-talk Steve Bannon. That's who he's going to focus on. His political, rival, Steve Bannon.
After he was ousted from the Trump administration, was figuring out ways to rehab Jeffrey Epstein. A search of Steve Bannon in the DOJ's Epstein Files library.
Things you said didn't exist, Ben.
Produces 2,879 unique results. A search of Epstein's email box populates 526 results for Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon was planning to produce a pro-Epstein documentary literally the day that Epstein was arrested for sex trafficking.
And this isn't it. It says that Bannon wanted to rehabilitate his image.
According to the Hollywood Reporter. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the Epstein-funded doc was to feature interviews with luminaries across media, academia, and politics to reshape the narrative. Among the high-profile participants...
Look, and fuck Steve Bannon, too. But I'm not going to play any more of those, because we don't need to hear this guy talk. But how cute, Ben. How cute of you. You denied these things existed. It's a nothing burger. Until you can find a way within it to have a fucking swing at one of your political rivals. It's also tiresome, dude. But speaking of Ben Shapiro, we're going to talk about certain people for a little bit, because obviously there is a relationship there at Jeffrey Epstein and a certain religious group, in that, concerning, for example, their common use of a word like goyim and goy. It seems that there's a lot of animus from many Jewish people towards white people and towards non-Jews in general. Here's Michael Moore saying that this is just a related bit. The Jews should stop attacking Palestinians because the real enemy is white Christians.
Because according to my knowledge of history, the enemies of Israel who have been persecuted, the Israelis, the Jewish people of this world have been persecuted for 5,000 years. But for the last 2,000 years,
all of human history,
most of the persecution
of human civilization's history, yeah. I mean, you go Blecky Tappy and stuff's a bit older, but only barely.
Has come
in the broad
from
scheme.
White, European-centric Christians. That's been your enemy. No Palestinian.
White Christians are your enemy. Is the enemy of the Jewish people, says Michael Moore.
Helped to build Auschwitz. No Palestinian stood on the docks of New York City when boatloads of Jewish refugees trying to escape the Holocaust came here to be protected by this country and were turned away at the docks in New York and sent back to Germany to die. No Palestinian did that. No Palestinian ran the Spanish Inquisition.
You get the point. Your enemy, as a Jewish person, is white people.
It's Edom.
Yeah. Despite feeling this way, talking a bunch of mad shit, Netanyahu, who's angry at the West, of course we're not giving enough support, is demanding more support from the West. Lest you be
I
anti-Semitic.
once again asking you for financial support.
Indeed. I demand the Western governments do what is necessary. I demand the Western governments do what is necessary to fight anti-Semitism.
Whilst looking like a fucking caricature from the 1940s.
Yeah. And provide the required safety and security for Jewish communities worldwide. Heed our warnings. I demand action from them now. Western nations have to stop everything they're doing because this guy is able to make demands of them, apparently.
And he has warnings that need to be heeded.
Yeah, you heed my warning, or else there's a threat. Right? Interesting. Rat Chasington for 2 says, thank God nobody believes more. Yeah, but it's more telling of the mindset, right? Maya Chavez, been a member for 13 months. Hey, thank you, says, dog zapping intensifies. Oof. Are we starting to turn into a bit of a Hassan stream because I'm talking about the Jays?
A little bit.
But don't worry, they're not Jewish. Spoon?
Yes.
You finally awake. You're finally awake. Did you fall asleep?
Hold on.
Oh, no. Well, I'm glad he could join us. Oh, no. Did he just pass out again? He
No.
just like...
No, I can hear you. Hold on.
All right. Well, I don't know what he's up to.
Well, he was a single gunshot. Well, that's a strong stance to take.
Are you alright, Spoon?
There we go.
Yeah, I'm just wondering who would get the bullet.
What were you up to?
All sharing is caring.
I talked about the Razor Fist Patrick Casey stuff, and you weren't here to. I'll go back to that for a second, right? So what's this?
What is there to say?
Do you have any? Well, I wanted your opinion on it since I talked about it. This is basically the whole thing summed up here. The original A message about Thomas Massey, Patrick Casey calling him a disgraced blogger writing fan fiction, and then Razorfist complaining about the harassment. And I did mention, obviously, that we watched the video and that it's just ad hominem attacks towards AA.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
But you've been fighting with them, though. Do you have anything else you wanted to add about Patrick Casey or Razorfist in this instance? And my point with what I said about it, Spoon,
I just
is
asked
that
for proof.
it's also what Thomas Massey said himself, is that it seems kind of weird that all the people that go after Massey end up being weird, right? And I'm not saying these guys are, but it's the people that they are defending that they are in the same camps with might be involved in some way. And there's like this need to protect your buddies, your people that you look up to even. Patrick Casey's probably more involved than Razorfist is, obviously. But
Yeah.
why would you align yourself with anyone who is asking for more transparency, more information about a mass-scale, decades-long child sex trafficking ring that involved people at the highest levels of power?
I have no idea. As far as why this particular thing is involving me is because I asked him for proof.
Yes, I did see.
Because he just said, "Oh,
Any
AA."
proof?
Yeah.
You're asking here about the proof of him of AA
Yeah.
striking Razor's video.
Yeah, try to watch
And
the
it is
video
just
on my channel
speculation.
like I did. I
Yeah.
did watch it. I
We
watched
did-
it
and we
on your
did
channel
cover it.
originally. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Who do you suppose did
And-
that? Like anyone, you dipshit. You were swearing at him for like 8 solid fucking minutes.
Yeah, it was just
Like,
8
I
minutes. That's
watched it and
what-
we're
we
like,
didn't even watch it.
What
We didn't watch it on
this-
YouTube, did we? We watched it on Rumble.
We did. No, I think we watched it here.
Oh no, we did. You're right. We did watch it here because I didn't think it'd be an issue. We did.
Yeah.
So, and I believe we watched AA's video as
This-
well. So we saw
this
both
bit-
sides of it.
This bit here,
and
this
AA
next one pissed me off.
Yeah.
Then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, are we setting timer for strategies?" Like, no, you dumbass. It's because you were featured less than 2 minutes in
2
an
minutes,
11-minute
yeah.
video, and your video on him was 8
Was just
minutes.
8 minutes of
just
screen
him.
at him. Yeah.
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 That's the reason. That's what I'm saying. Look, your response is wholly disproportionate. Was my point, Mike? What? You're thick. Like, this makes you just realize you're just obtuse. 'Cause,
Like, it's also
how
so funny.
stupid do you think you
He's-
are?
He says to you, go back to regurgitating dog-tired 4chan talking points. What 4chan talking points do you have?
Yeah.
You could
Yeah,
much more easily
bizarre.
make that kind of claim about me, considering how long I've been on image boards. But I don't think I have 4chan talking points
4chan
either.
talking. Yeah, which 4chan talking points do I have?
I don't know. I don't even know what he's referring to. It's because it gives me very James Lindsay. Well,
Well, Razor
you know,
Fist is
like
a fan of
every-
James Lindsay, so yeah.
everybody around me is in the what's the word he uses again? What's his no word? James Lindsay's one. Because Razor Fist will do that with monarchists, right? He'll be like, oh, the
Oh,
monarchists. You know, oh, the monarchists are out to get me. Are the monarchists? Are
Like
the
when,
monarchists
when
in
you're
the
shit,
room right now?
shit
I mean, right
talking
now,
the
they're
monarchists,
fine.
I'm sorry to say this, but it really does start to sound
Yeah.
like the one dude who really fucking hates Don Quixote.
Yeah.
He just looks out the window, sees a dude on a donkey charging wheels of that fucking guy again.
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like. That fucking monarchist again, motherfucker. Like 8 of you.
Yeah. Oh, what's the term that Lindsay uses again? Is it like dark woke or something?
Oh, woke right.
Woke right. He's like, yeah, everyone who disagrees with me is
completely
woke
forgotten
right.
about that, much like I'd forgotten about everything about James Lindsay. That
And
was his
it's very
dog or
forgettable.
fucking
It's very
Mark
forgettable.
Dane.
It's very, very forgettable, the woke right. But, like, it's the same thing where it's just this bogeyman. And Razor Fist gets that way about the monarchists. I mean, to be fair, like, again, we're not really helping that case there because we're talking about this because this is stupid. Like, he throws hands at people and then basically gets upset when he shot himself in the foot in his own retardation in doing so.
So,
I
like,
don't
he
agree with his video being taken down, but what did you expect? You
He has
just
to
insulted
justify
the guy's
opening his
ethnicity and
ignorant
race.
yap. I don't know what that means. Misrepresenting and explicitly lying about my positions. Yeah, this is the thing, though, Razor. He was speculating about a whole bunch of people.
Yes, you were
pulls
just
like
listed.
5. Yeah, he pulls 5 groups and said, "You all have the same talking point when it comes to this one issue."
Yeah.
And the fact that you're spurging about it and you're not addressing it kind of makes it look like there's a point. And as far as the Tucker Carlson thing goes, you said, "Oh, I don't like Tucker Carlson because he changes his positions for money." I'm like, motherfucker, your entire political apparatus runs on that very same fucking dogma. So, like, if you don't like Tucker Carlson for that, then you're an anarchist. Because your entire government runs on that same model. So, like, what does that even mean? That's just stupid. I just looked at what you want, what you claim to have principle of, and then what you advocate for. And I'm like, well, if this is what you believe in, then how are you even a fan of the government?
Well, I'm guessing. I mean, I'm no fan of the government, but I prefer a different form of government, for example. Anyway, I just wanted to get your opinion on that while I brought it up. Going back to where we
Holy
were,
crap,
though,
that
talking about
woman
the-
screams Jewish.
Well, yeah, and she's about to tell you about how the people in the Epstein files aren't actually Jewish. We
What
talked
made you
last
think
week
that?
about
Is it the fact that she looks like Ben Shapiro in drag?
No. We talked last week about how there was a bunch of these kinds of videos that were coming out about how, oh no, goyim, it's like a term of endearment. It means all people
No, it
non-Jews. It's
isn't.
just like how you. It doesn't mean anything negative. So now we've got this kind of, and this is just like a TikTok or whatever, right? But there's so much of this shit, and a lot of it is coming in from the Christian right, the Zionist right,
Of course
of
it
doing
does.
the same kind of stuff of, oh no, I'm sure there's some logical explanation for this stuff. It has nothing to do with any kind of, fact that they have in-group homophily and some weird shit going on where they do not consider themselves white. They do consider themselves a group, and you're not part of it. But no, people but again, when it's convenient, they're not really Jewish. It's very much like being Schrodinger's white guy, Schrodinger's white person. Jews are white when it's convenient. They are not white when it's convenient. These people are not Jewish when it's convenient.
Epstein files aren't actually Jewish. They are Frankist. If you don't know what a Frankist is, basically, there was this guy named Jacob Frank in the 18th century who believed that he was the Messiah, and he taught all of the awful things you're reading in the Epstein files. He taught.
Oh, that's all. Okay, that's all.
Because
thanks for clearing that up.
This is how far back it goes.
1860s, yeah.
Okay, please stop. This is a woman
I'm not going to play
Jewish.
any more of it.
No.
Oh, hell no. I just wanted to give... There's so much of this kind of shit. They're not even... Don't worry, boys. They're not Jewish.
Oy
They're
vey.
Frankists. These people have no level of disproportionate power. So this is in Bondi. This is in Australia. Arrested in Sydney for booing at the president of Israel's car. This is an arrestable offense in Australia. How dare he? Look, I mean, like, he's an annoying Free Palestine guy, but he didn't attack the car. He yelled boo at it. He didn't even say he didn't say anything really that aggressive. He said boo. Any car that was driving past him was immediately gone.
When the president was actually leaving this event with a heavy police presence and his own motorcade, that a local Bondi man began booing. He was yelling the words shame towards the president's car. That is when police on the ground reacted very swiftly. They temporarily placed him.
What might he have done? He might have taken a fucking picture. Might have
May I
lasted
also remind you, is this Bondi Beach is the same area where there was the shooting and it took the police like an hour to respond from a block away? But they instantly jumped on this guy.
But yeah, like that fucking motorcade comes through here. Every single copper is kitted out to the nines. Like full long arms. Like.
Yeah, can't get over to deal with.
Not pistols and pepper spray. Full long arms, like full armed contingent. Every single fucking copper there
get
is
off your
armed to
asses. It cannot get off your asses while there is an active shooter situation 2 blocks away from a police station. But gotta jump in on this guy for saying boo and shame. Fucking pathetic. Well, we called this Venezuela sends first oil shipment to Israel in years in sign of relations improving, says Bloomberg, as per the Jerusalem Post.
All of you that said I was wrong about this, you can all kiss my fucking ass, you bunch of pricks.
We called it at the time. On point.
Suck all of it. Fuck off. I was right and you all were wrong.
We weren't the only ones. Many people who aren't.
Yeah, Harry was one of them.
Which of course, anyone who wasn't silly or who doesn't have some alternative motive.
Oh, but it was so basic. Get the call me. You fucking coping faggots.
We told you. This is just one example of it, but
cope harder.
Look. MAGA fell for it again. Well, we called that whole episode the Fell for It Again Awards, like. And
I could just hear AA scream and just like, do you get it now?
Well, speaking of, again, the God's favorite people, here's what's going on over on this side.
Oh my god, this is unbelievably cringe.
So, Jewish protesters disrupt Farage at launch of Reform Jewish Alliance. So, oh my god, I'll show you some further stuff too.
Do you want Keir Starmer to stay in until the next general election?
I mean, it sure feels like it. Reform is doing an excellent job at pissing away every last drop of goodwill.
Yeah.
And in rapid speed. Well, just, make sure that you fill every position of power, make sure that all the people involved are just former Tories, so that there's no or barely any appreciable difference from the Conservatives. Great. That's a great start. And then go do shit like this. Make sure that you start a Reform Jewish Alliance. Also, let's not focus, I'll talk about this in a minute, but, the only reason that Reform is in any favorable sort of ratings is for one issue. Because there is only one issue that is of such pressing concern in the UK that all others are subservient to it, in terms of priority, and that is migration.
Yep.
And specifically, remigration. That is the purpose of reform at this point. I mean, pretty much from the beginning, it's always been largely based on immigration and remigration.
Yeah.
But
no,
Farage
the
is
purpose
fucking
of
around with this
reform
shit.
is to suck Zionist dick.
Listen, yes, I'm saying that was the way they sold themselves, however, to the British public is remigration. This is what they're busy doing, though.
The Torah says to love the stranger, for we will want strangers in Egypt.
Oh my god. Dude, that guy's like so gay too. Look at him. And you incite them on refugees. Oh my god.
Bunch of fucking gibberish at this point. Also, what did the fucking Israelites do when they showed up to Israel, which is occupied already? They knocked the place over.
Yeah. And by the way, started conflicts in other countries where there were large Jewish diasporas because a lot of them didn't want to move to Israel. And then they did. I'm talking about the Israeli state was responsible for that. For a lot of conflict in the Middle East.
Yes.
That's why so many Jews left other countries. Because the state of Israel is believed, I mean, I'm not making shit up here, to have really set fires to conflicts in other countries with large Jewish diasporas to get them out of those countries. Under the auspices, again, of anti-Semitic discrimination.
Probably got sick of any reason to go to Israel being to avoid being done as a sex offender like they usually do.
Yeah. God. They're so fucking angry. And again, remember, this is at a little event for the Reformed Jewish Alliance, and they are screaming at Nigel Farage over this shit. But, dude, you totally need these people, right? They're very important for the power of your political party.
Listen, if we do not have the illusion of an escape from the current system of nightmares, then there's the odd or small risk that people might just decide it's easy to drag us out of our homes and kill us with hatchets. Right. Said the intelligence here and political castes.
And with all they link to this, by the way. I'm not going to play this, but this is a 7-minute long video complaining about how reports from Brighton, volunteers are going door to door asking people to boycott Israeli products. Brighton's Jewish community fears the actions of these volunteers could encourage anti-Semitism. So if you just don't buy stuff from Israel, then you're going to encourage anti-Semitism. And that's why we need the Reformed Jewish Alliance. Because Jews in Brighton, yeah.
Make anti-Semitism history.
Uh-huh.
I agree with that.
Just Sphere,
probably...
did you respond to this?
List of countries that expelled the Jewry. You can help by expanding it.
Yeah, that was essentially my point. Because I did reply to that actually.
To Morgoth's post?
Yes. Not to Morgoth's one on my own page.
To this... Oh, I didn't. Did you retweet it? Oh, everybody. Well, the gang is all here. So.
Yeah.
Did you reply to this, or did you just retweet it?
I just retweeted that one.
Oh, okay. So
Scrum had the funniest one. He says, "If I made this logo a year ago to poke fun at reform, I'd have had a knock on the door." And I just joked and said, "Yeah, the knock on the door would have said, can we use this for a future party? Can we use this for a future party conference?"
I mean, it is a joke. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought was funny. No, but this is the one that I put.
So proud that Jews in the gayest town city in the UK.
That's my one.
Fighting the anti-Semitism.
I had to be slightly subtle
by not purchasing by forcing people to not boycott Israeli products. Let me get yours up. Whoops. Yeah, I did see your tweet earlier.
I agree with this, just in a very, very different way.
Aw.
Yeah. Same way that
Oh, my
Stalin
goodness.
dealt with certain statistical problems.
But don't worry yourself with that, because actually, this is what you should be worried about, is the Islamophobia. The Muslim Council of Britain has stated that certain findings from the rape gang inquiry are Islamophobic. This may have worked to
Wonder
shut
why.
down debate. It will not work now. We are continuing our inquiry. We're going to continue telling the truth. This is from Rupert Lowe, of course, who has been relentlessly retweeting the images from this account for the last couple of days. This is a follow, I would suggest, as well, if you're interested. The Rape Gang Inquiry on Twitter. I don't know if I want to read these,
I don't, yeah.
because they're graphic, and it's just quote after quote after quote. It just goes on and on and on. You can scroll through
Yeah.
here and keep going. Quotes from, and they're horrific. And Rupert Lowe has been going through and just leaving these images. Anyone who's talking about slop, nonsense politics, distractionary politics, he just goes and posts these on Twitter. It's a little performative because you're doing it on Twitter. However, this is, again, much like the Epstein stuff, some of the most disgusting, reprehensible things that can happen. And, oh yeah, but it's Islamophobic to talk about this, right? And I'm glad what he's done. I also quite like, much like I have good things to say about Mazzy, I have good things to say about Rupert Lowe. So I'd heavily suggest, if you are interested in this kind of stuff, to go check out this Twitter account. But again, it's Islamophobic to even talk about it, right? That's what they're saying. The stuff from the Rape Gang Inquiry is Islamophobic prima facie. Reporting on the horrific crimes of the Muslim diaspora is Islamophobic. Eldrasaga 10 says, late night host replacement prompt. You're a sarcastic late night comedian, in quotes, who does news. Every search every left-leaning publication for viral news, make a joke about it, repeat or call back. I mean, yeah,
that's basically what it
there's
is.
an AI prompt for you, yeah. Of course, again, here's this from LBC. Which was this? Yes, you don't want to be Islamophobic. You certainly wouldn't want to call the rapists either, because that would be just rude.
Alex and Surrey, why are you tiptoeing around this? You're scared to tell the truth. If these people weren't here, there'd be 25% less crime. Some poor girls' lives would be saved. Stop being
True.
wet and tell the truth. Alex,
Indeed.
I agree. It's another
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't.
day with another set of headlines. Another person who's come to this country supposedly seeking asylum, we've housed, we've given some money to, and they've responded by, in this case, raping an innocent girl, a 12-year-old girl. But you have to be...
No. There
There's-
should be
there's no
no
but.
but after. There's no but. That is an end sentence.
The issue that they
And
want to
then
talk
end
about
his sentence.
is that a lot of them are doing, they've discovered that a lot of the countries that they're from, they will say, oh, if as like this person's been convicted as a rapist, if they went home, they'd be executed, so we can't ship them back.
Oh, right.
But
Yes.
now-
We talked about that before. That was the,
Yeah.
oh God, what was his name? He was a big deal for a second. Sorry.
So people are figuring out, I say people, I use it to extraordinarily loosely.
Right.
These human fucking yeast are coming over here, realizing that the best way to make it so you don't go back is to rape or murder someone.
Right.
And doing precisely that.
Yes. And then say, well, I can't go back because I'll be killed in my home country. It'll be very inhumane.
I'll actually be held accountable
They
in
are
my own
treated
fucking
with-
country.
They will see more justice in their own country than they would in the country in which they committed the crime.
Yes. Well, of course, because they'll see zero.
Because even like literal subhuman 60 IQ morons can figure out the basics of person is rapist or murderer. Person should probably get a dirt nap.
Indeed. I mean, it's just absolutely fucking disgusting. 1 second, because we'll go ahead and words. I have to set up my premiere to go out an hour from now. I'm looking at a bunch of time stuff, so let me play this here for a second.
Be aware of the responsibility that we have in a station. We can't suddenly say all these people are like that, because they're not. But is it a growing trend? Yes, it would appear to be. Is it of enormous concern?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
And yes, do we need...
God will know his own.
Yes, that is the way to deal with it. You can't just suddenly decide that everybody getting off a dinghy is like that. Alex and Surrey, why are you
Safe assumption.
Not everyone. Shut up, right?
I'm not interested. It's not our responsibility if someone's acumen or someone's good nature. They are not entering it by the proper method. They get the fucking dirt nap.
Send you on the fucking boat back.
Yeah, indeed.
Go with them.
I'm sorry,
You
if you
useless
just
piece
because
of shit.
you might as well say, oh, these people who broke into this bank but using an armored vehicle and they will pile out. Just because this guy was in the vehicle with them doesn't mean that he's part of the team.
But yes, it does.
He does. He fucking
Indeed.
does. I'm not going to assume, oh, you just hitched a ride with this. You just happened to randomly pick the people who are going to rob the place, and you just hitched a ride to your job on the armored car being used to rob a bank. I'm assuming
Right.
it's a fairly safe bet you were up to some shit.
Let's see. Oh my god, this is pathetic. Give me a second though, because I really have to use the restroom. It's like I'm trying to balance like 3 things at once. So, be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Spoon, talk about what you were doing while you were suspiciously absent.
There's not really much to talk about. Quite literally. Islamophobia is a problem in the country, and I'm utterly committed to eradicating it from society. You basically want to destroy the English society then. Is that what you're implying? Absolute twat. How the fucking hell did this guy become Prime Minister of England? Like, Jesus, he's a fucking psychopath. Although, now that Tony Blair is essentially has a hands-off thing, I think there's a scuffle between him and Brown. Now, Labour essentially has no leadership in like a behind-the-scenes directional kind of sense, and now Labour is going to get even worse. Which I'm not even sure how that's possible, but yeah, I can somehow see that because Keir Starmer is much like Trump in the sense that he always chickens out. He says some wild shit and backs off, wild shit backs off, and he's just a sporadic retard.
He is.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's
Sporadic
oh my
retard's a good term.
God. Yeah.
So not only again is it Islamophobic to discriminate against them in any way, against the rapists. It's Islamophobic to talk about the rapes. In fact, we should just pay them.
Sorry I'm not able to join you, but I want to give a special thanks to the APPG on British Muslims for the brilliant work that you do to highlight issues affecting British Muslims and celebrate their achievements. Your work on the definition of Islamophobia has been exemplary.
Get paid to do this shit is my point. Oh, thank you for the work on discovering how you were actually so discriminated against and deserve more Gibbs and rights.
Listen, if you need an expert on discrimination, I'm right here. I could do with the cash.
Exactly, right?
As leader of the Labour Party, I am
Have some expertise for a
utterly
change.
committed to eradicating Islamophobia from my party and from society.
Jesus Christ. This is what they're worried about.
I can't wait until this retard decorates a lamppost.
I know. Oh, sorry, I got to use the next one. This is to give them more money. Jeez, this guy.
The elderly to save money.
We have found a £22 billion black hole in the economy.
Oh,
We've got
yeah,
to
that's
fix it.
Yes.
What we're not going to do is pretend it isn't there or paper over it.
Right,
That's what
good.
the last government did, and it made
Okay.
it worse.
They sucked too. Tories suck as well. Good, yeah. What are you going to do?
That means we've got to make tough choices. I don't want to cut the winter fuel allowance. I don't think anybody government wants to do that. But we've got to fix the foundations of our economy, and that's what this is.
So you're going to cut the winter fuel allowance. Not going to cut, however, all of that money that goes to housing, feeding, giving spare money and spending money and phones to quote unquote refugees. We want to cut that spending though.
All about making sure that we fix the foundations, and then having done that we can build a better future that pensioners and so many other people voted for in this election. So this is a tough decision.
Nobody
Not a
voted for
decision I
you.
want to make,
Yeah, well, that too.
but I'm absolutely determined we'll stabilise the economy and fix the foundations, and then on that we will build the better Britain that we were elected into government with a strong mandate to bring about.
Again, no.
A strong
no,
mandate with the lowest turnout in human history.
talks about the winter fuel allowance. Doesn't talk about the enormous, exorbitant amount of money it costs to import and maintain a foreign army on your shores of brown people. Largely young Muslim men. Specifically.
And pretty much anything with an IQ lower than 75.
Because they're easy to control. They're far easier to control than white people.
Yeah. They're basically plague rats.
Yeah. Well, by the way, not all Islamophobic. And not a concern to focus on that. Did I click the wrong? Did I post the wrong link twice? I did not. Why did it? Oh, well. There we go. Oh. In fact, actually, Al Qaeda, they're just freedom fighters. Dude, this is all so tiresome.
Absolutely ridiculous. And on the last slides,
oh my God, she looks like she's like 13.
Title: Are Al-Qaeda more terrorists or freedom fighters? Even explain your answer. And they give them sentences.
She's a little kid. Am I wrong?
That's one of those people who's like, you look at them as like, if they were your waitress at a restaurant, you think, I'm not sure that's kosher.
I'm not sure you're legally allowed to work here. Like, I don't think you're. Dude, she looks like a little girl.
Starters of Al-Qaeda can be seen as both terrorists to some and freedom fighters to others. In one way, Al-Qaeda are terrorists.
How old are you, love?
Yeah, I can't take this seriously because it seems like a little kid giving an interview.
15 years
like,
old.
For my class, I have to give an interview. Sorry.
They are freedom fighters.
Yeah, we know why they're terrorists.
They're leaving it up to 11 to 13-year-olds to decide what a terrorist is. It's insane.
Basically, you're the 11 to 13-year-old telling me what a terrorist is. That's what I'm watching here. That's you.
Like, so it's a strange day when you find yourself
1920.
watching someone on the news who was probably in the same class as fucking, like, I don't know, Super Kai 64.
Okay, all right. Is it just that we're getting old, and so now I look at like younger people look younger, and so they all look like fetuses to me now? Like anyone under the age of 25 looks like a fetus to me.
No,
or is
but
she
she
just
does
really young
look
looking?
really, really young looking.
Okay, because I do have a tendency to do that. It's just like, oh, this, but I think she does look like a
I
little.
don't give a shit. I aged like milk. Fucking let me die in peace.
Let's go.
Remember that fantastic example of freedom fighting when they flew 2 jets into the Twin Towers in New York? Freedom fighting.
It's
no
awful.
suggestion that was terrorism.
It's insane. And the website in which these teaching
Yeah, which country did
resources
that?
are on, so it's TESS. Which
Well, yeah, like they're talking about it. Just that, like, yeah, that's freedom fighting. Al Qaeda's freedom fighters now.
is the country's biggest website that's used for teachers to get resources from, so people upload different stuff and state schools then use it, and as I said, this is from 11 to 13-year-olds, which is
Oh, she's 17. Okay, she is whatever. That my only point was, yeah, they leave it up to the 12 13-year-olds. Yes, schools in the UK are teaching children Al Qaeda were freedom fighters. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I guess she is 17. Looks, all right. That's why she looks like.
I just know that the bouncer genes in my family from my dad's side are still alive. Where I was like, "You're getting carded,
Right.
love. You are not allowed in here. Piss off."
Well, moving back though, because we could only get away from them for a couple minutes, away from the, it's either it's anti-Muslim or Islamophobia, or it's anti-Semitic, and this is downright anti-Semitic right here. Labor ex-counselor admits to child sex offenses.
What was the
Why is it every Steen, Singleberg, Timowitz?
You've met Destiny, now meet Fate.
Lyron.
He does look like Destiny, like Jewish Destiny. And Destiny is like half Puerto Rican, right? Labor counselor who sent and requested lewd videos to someone he thought was a 13-year-old girl has pleaded guilty to child sex offenses. Liron Velleman, 30, was a counselor for Barnet in North London when the offenses happened between the 3rd and 10th of December 2024. He resigned in April 2025 without explanation.
Who's that one that
This is the Hope Not Hate guy.
sometimes work with the Lotus Seed? It's like, isn't his name Nixon or something?
Nick Dixon?
Yes. He looks like, that guy looks like Destiny spliced with him.
Oh, a bit. He mostly looks like Destiny to me. I'm not even trying to throw shade at Destiny for them, like he does. Velleman of Finchley, North London, used the handle TimGraham95 to send messages Highbury Corner Magistrates Court heard. Unbeknownst to him, he was actually in contact with a decoy officer from the Met Police. Prosecutor asked for the case to be committed to the Crown Court for sentencing, as he said it was too serious to be dealt with at the Magistrate Court. I don't know, do you want to go over the details of this? Velleman previously pleaded guilty to 2 charges, one of attempting to engage in sexual communication with a child, and another of attempting to cause a child aged 13 to 15 to look at an image of sexual activity.
Wait, he's done this before?
Yes.
Why is he still alive?
Velleman, who is a member of the Jewish labor movement, was freed on bail with the condition not to be in the
If
company
ever there
of
was a
someone under
fucking oxymoron, Jewish labour.
Did we cover this last time? I don't think we covered this guy. This one just came out. This new offense. He's been tried for this before. This is a new one where he's admitted now to this. These were offenses that happened a little over a year ago. But I didn't want to bring it up.
Say every time, we mean every fucking time.
Right. I did also want to bring it up for another reason, though. So, the other reason I wanted to bring this guy up is because this guy. Oh, this is the article. It doesn't have it in it. This guy crafted. This is not in this article. 1 second. This guy helped craft the online safety bill. Remember, like, you need to hand over all of your personal information to the government. I think they did talk about it here, did they not? Oh. Huh? RSI?
Well.
I'm trying to find the a link to this. This guy's related to Hope Not Hate. It's strange. I'm having a hard time finding this. But
yeah, of course he is.
Huh?
I hope you don't hate me for diddling kids.
Right.
God, the physiognomy never lies, does it?
Either. He said I Hope Not Hate. Okay. Previously worked for anti-racism group Hope Not Hate.
Miskiff a little bit.
Yeah. Might have to find it on Twitter, actually. So for all of the sort of bluster that's like, oh, you need to give over all of your private information, because, and if you're opposed to it in any way, it's because you just you're nonce and you want nonces, you want children to be victimized and stuff like that. This is the guy who worked with the Online Safety Act stuff on behalf of Hope Not Hate. He helped at least provide comments on it. Yeah, drafted by him, right? Here's from Leo Curse. Online Safety Act was drafted by a pedophile. Epstein Mandelson isn't even the worst labor non-scandal this week. Pedophile, labor politician, and senior member of Hope Not Hate. Venn diagram of an overlap. Aaron Bellerman just pleaded guilty to child sex offenses. A second round of child sex offenses again. Incredibly, he helped draft the Online Safety Act, legislation that's supposed to keep children safe from men like himself. It keeps happening with this kind of shit. We just need more of your personal data. We need to know every single thing about you to protect children, says the person who predates on children. Right? Weird how it keeps happening.
Isn't Hope Not Hate specifically made by MI5?
Certainly seems like it.
Yeah.
Their connections to the deep state are pretty fucking deep, This woman is a whistleblower talking about how the BBC has direct instructions to safeguard Israel's image. Now, it's a whistleblower. Take it with a grain of salt. Here's what she has to say.
That looks like Angela Merkel.
Israel
a bit from the side profile.
Does a bit.
Right to defend itself. That was the editorial line that was drilled into us, into all of our coverage. It was really an integral part of the editorial stance. To a guest talking about, Israeli airstrikes killing Palestinians in Gaza, that would be the response from our presenters.
Denying access to food is collective punishment, and that we should all be clear in saying that.
Israel will argue, obviously, that it has a right to defend itself.
People were terrified of using the word genocide in coverage. They still are. You will very rarely see it in any BBC coverage. And if an interviewee says the word genocide,
this is a genocide happening in front of our eyes.
That word, as you know, incredibly emotive, and the Israelis, as you know, will be saying.
Yeah, I gotta immediately swoop in there and be like, no, let's not use the word genocide.
That they are targeting Hamas only.
The presenter will almost always panic.
The Labour Party, of all political parties, which has always had a strong peace contingent within it, is now actually supporting genocide.
Okay, if we can maybe just avoid that language, if that's okay.
Goddamn. Sister Mel
we don't want to tell the truth here.
Yeah, that's the BBC. You know what the real problem is, though? It's white people. It's white people, as always. White people are the real problem. They're the real oppressors. Now, he says here that non-whites share the same oppressor, and we are the majority now. We can take over this country. This is Representative Gene Wu, a Democrat in the United States.
I can't say what I reply to with regards to this.
I mean, we may all have a same oppressor, but is it white people?
I always tell people the gay, the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start
Jews?
winning. Because we are.
I mean, you could imply that, right? Is that what he means by this? I don't think so.
We're the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over.
And I understand that's how it always is, right?
No, but
Oh,
here's
please,
the thing.
when
If
I'm in the
you
minority, I'm a
honestly
minority. I
think-
need help. Once I'm in the majority,
If you honestly think if you remove white people, you're all gonna hold hands in kumbaya, you are out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
That is never ever going to happen. You're gonna have the same retarded cringe infighting fucking horseshit. As is the same in every single government all over the fucking world. There is no such thing as racial camaraderie the second you remove the white man.
Yeah.
Like that's just fucking retarded.
Oh, Midnight Nexile says Velleman is Jewish. My Judar is undefeated. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think to bring it up because I thought it was so obvious. But
Undefeated.
here we go at USC Showa.
Interview. The date is September 29th, 2017. The interviewee is Liron Velleman. My name is Lauren Jo Gewurz. We're in London in the United Kingdom, and the language of the interview will be English.
My father, who was born.
He's gonna go on about it again. This is the USC Showa. This is yes. He talks about
UK, made Aliyah, lived there for a number of years before moving back to the UK before I was born, and so I constantly had that kind of British and Israeli upbringing and very Jewish upbringing as well.
There you go. Anyway,
for this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided.
yes, because the only thing you have in common,
you fucking moron.
yes, is that you're not white.
Yeah.
That is not exclusion of something. Is not something that's mutually shared.
Yeah.
You're just outside of a certain box. Doesn't mean you're inside of a different one. But again, he's speaking about what the goal is, to be the majority. Right? Of course. White people are the real oppressors, which is why I want to talk now for a minute about number one white oppressor, Will Stancil. I got some update.
Yeah. I will say...
Ignore that this is from Captain Dreamer.
The thing that bugs me about that stupid thing is Ted Cruz retweeted, the Democrat Party is built on bigotry. And my response was, stop trying to fucking own the libs. Yeah, essentially was that. It's like, stop trying to own the libs by being more liberal. And I said...
Yeah, it's gay.
Yes, I said the correct response isn't Democrats are the real bigots. The correct response is most of your commie-ass country is still dirt poor, you...
Word.
No, how can I say this politely?
We're far enough into the show.
I described the angle of his eyes and implied he picks a certain kind of vegetable.
Okay.
That's
I
like
see
your
what you mean.
demographics are doomed. Come fucking
I got
try.
you.
Yeah.
I got you. Speaking of white racist oppressors, though, as I said, here's Will Stancil, who is still over on Blue Sky defending himself against the endless leftoid mobs.
Well, yeah, if he was on Twitter, he would get right-wing support.
I know. We're waiting for you. Come assume your rightful place in Valhalla. Come to Agartha with us, Will.
Be on the podcast.
Imagine we get Will. Well, we can't have Will Stancil first. Emily has to have him first and have her way with him first, obviously.
I don't want to say vegetables. Rice was something I had in mind.
Emily Yukas, who made the Will Stancil show.
Oh, I was not. Listen, I'm not in the loop in these things. Fucking leave me alone.
So, Will Stancil says on Blue Sky, also inventing fake bigotry to win interpersonal feuds feels pretty disrespectful to people facing real bigotry, and even the idea that real bigotry matters. Ooh, Will, these are dangerous right-wing ideas you're espousing there. Ken O'Brien says... It's that...
No, like real bigotry. What the fuck does that mean?
Because...
Me!
Right,
He's talking about me, okay?
There is real oppression. There's child prostitution, sex rings, slavery that happen in this world today. There are people who are actually legitimately oppressed in the world. And when everyone is a victim, everyone is oppressed, it is disrespectful to true victims. The same way it's disrespectful to put all their fucking names in the document after they said specifically to keep them out. I'm so sick of my Pam Bondi, Sarah.
Also,
Take a minute to get over that.
No one wants to say this out loud, but some people deserve to be oppressed.
Well, not children. Okay.
Some people deserve to
They're
be
not fucking
slaves.
spawn camp people in existence. Give them a chance.
But Ken O'Brien here responds to it and he says, I don't even care if it's fake. It's not. But you don't care if it's fake. A lot of it is. You and I are a couple of fucking U.S. white boys. We are... Is it white in quotes? We are rightfully suspect at baseline. So if our potential allies in this fight want to see us jump through a couple hoops... Remember, Will Stancil got beat up last week for just standing there and filming in Minneapolis.
I have to share that meme. It's a good fucking meme.
Couple of hoops in this fight just to be sure of us. For the cause, we should jump through them quietly. Dude, Will Stancil's going to end up getting fucking radicalized in the opposite direction. I sure hope he does. Because it's just, by the way, it's been like this every day now for over a week.
Like, it's just the thing of like, okay, like, Mr. Stancil, would you like to not get jumped every 5 minutes?
I mean, he's being jumped physically now.
No, I mean, that's what I mean. Like,
Right.
you're essentially just walking around with a fucking PvP flag on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's flagged. Constantly.
Yeah, he's been flagged. It's how you've treated this entire conversation from the start with refusing to say a simple "I'm sorry" after many natives told you how they feel about how you refer to us. It's like
He's
every little
he's like
how you
someone
refer
who
to
was
us natives.
It's like he's someone who's an orc who's an ogre man, and he just paid for basically a faction change. And he's still in ogre man.
Yeah, he's down in the fucking pits, and just every single form of creature
If
is
you're
coming
if
at
you're
me
a WoW
like,
player,
you
if you're a
natives,
WoW
you
player, then you'll understand that reference.
No, you feel right the first time. You're a WoW payer.
Stancil replies,
recovering case myself. I got out after Burning Crusade.
Look, it's starting to work. It's already happening. Well, I'm not sorry. Just like the people attacking me are not actually offended. Let's drop the pretense. Will, you're figuring it out. You figured out they're not actually offended. Oh my god, it's just a power move. Again, so this person, Cassie, says, Will Stancil attempting to claim he wasn't engaging in genocide revisionism / denial. Will attempting to cover up his campaign of targeted harassment and defamation. Will continues to be a racist piece of shit.
Based.
Again, what part of, quote, this doesn't work on me because I'm not going to pretend you're engaging in good faith are you struggling with? What
Wow, you
you
sound like a
guys need to
right-winger.
understand. I know, it's happening. What you guys need to understand is that if you want me to take your accusations of racism, misogyny, transphobia, etc. seriously, you first need to satisfy the gateway criterion of not acting like malicious freaks who are incredibly thrilled to make those accusations. Then we can talk like adults. Welcome to the right wing, Will Stancil.
Or just not left.
This is what you do to everyone.
Yes.
That's your whole mode, your entire like political side for the last
Teams
15
are
plus years.
auto-balancing.
Yeah, teams got auto-balanced. Does this to everyone. You've just been on their side, so you didn't notice it up till now.
And now
At
that you're
present,
on the
you have
crosshairs, now you're
Right.
going to realize that, oh look, my side is
Uh-huh.
actually full of shitheads. Yeah, we know.
Yes. Malicious, lying freaks.
Why do you think we're over here, Will?
Yeah. At present, you have spectacularly failed to
It
satisfy
do be like that,
condition.
Mr. Stancil.
It do be like that,
There's
Mr.
still-
Stancil.
He's got a ready-made fandom. He doesn't need to do anything. He just come over here.
Well, we love you.
It's okay. Even someone as up their house as Ingve Malmsteen realized, like, oh, Japan really likes me. I'm going to go over there for a while. It'll be a real nice, easy gig.
At present, you have spectacularly failed to satisfy that condition, and thus you could accuse me of every form of prejudice known to man, and indeed, you often do. It do be like that, Mr. Stancil, and I simply will not care or take it seriously. So, like, he's at the first stage. Then you become, not only do I recognize you're all being disingenuous liars, but actually, yes, I do have a prejudice towards you now. Thank you for teaching me why. That's the second step. Some other news, because this is, oh wait, sorry, there's some more here. I think if you go back in Will's history online, you'll find that people didn't just, like, start yelling at him online out of nowhere. Folks have been polite. Folks have tried to reach out, and he keeps fucking up. People don't get unlimited chances before their critics start yelling. This is over him filming and then getting beaten up for filming. We're mad at you and treat you badly because you have been so bigoted for a long time would be a better explanation if you had, like, even one non-absurd example. It's not what he's even saying there, Will. He's just saying that people have been disagreeing with you. You know? Because the left always eats their own. The right does it too. But God, these people love a fresh corpse. So come on over to the base side, Will. You're already halfway there. Other news, speaking of this, because that was very gay, that whole story. Although, I mean, it was the people being gay to Will Stancil. He's based. This, of course, happened. Ming Khalif's critics have been vindicated. This is, in fact, a man, genetically, biologically.
Hell, Rishi Sunak's looking rough these days.
Rishi is looking a bit rough, isn't it? I don't really care. Just, you know. It is a bit of a lead into this, which is a very fucked up and sad story, because a lot of this trans stuff, like, this happened because the trans stuff's being put away, right? This is no longer politically viable. It's boring. People are tired of it and they're disgusted by it. It's gone. However, the repercussions of these psyops will continue to happen for a long time. And you couldn't make it up that the name of the school is Tumbler Ridge, the area, British Columbia.
How did it? And this
Ridge.
is a better name than if it was called fucking DashCon. Like,
I mean,
this
like,
is a better
sorry.
name for a Tumblr convention than the actual convention.
Like, this
did.
is actually horrific, but it's so insane that it's Tumbler Ridge. So, individual alleged to be the shooter in the deadly attack at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School in British Columbia has been identified by a close family member as Jesse Strang, according to information obtained by Juno News. Juno News spoke directly to Strang's uncle, who confirmed the shooter was transgender and responsible for the shooting that left 10 people dead, including the suspect. Many such cases killed 10 children and themselves. A public YouTube account believed to be owned by Jesse features the transgender flag and uses she/her pronouns. When contacted for comment, Strang confirmed he was Jesse's uncle and Jennifer Strang's brother. Jennifer is believed to be one of the 2 deceased victims. So what this person did is, they shot their family, drove to school, shot up the school, and then shot themselves. She, her pronouns. Were.
You notice how they always seem to start off by killing the family first, so there's no one to chime in with, oh yeah, he was doing this, this, and this right before.
Mm-hmm. Right. They want to make sure that the parents can't speak. Yeah. Some more just like, again, the daily grind of nonsense. The underlying stuff continues forever. And that involves, for example, a black judge has just it cuts the prison sentence in half for a rapist kidnapper because he's black. That's it. And he's the real victim, of course.
But Judge Davis thought that...
And yeah, the crazy thing is even he doesn't buy it. Yeah, watch this. It's actually fucking absurdist if you've not seen this.
Jury's recommendation was too long. She feels he hasn't mentally...
Rapist, murderer, or kidnapper, sorry. 65 years is too long?
Matured yet, and never had a real shot at getting any help early in life.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing. He never had a shot. He just came from the hood.
If you were to come in here, and instead of being hurt and angry, which is what this court hears, right, as a 20-year-old African-American male...
There's one part she cares about. He's African-American, right? Same in-group, same tribe. He's of my group, so I will cut his sentence in half. Of a rapist.
That has been, experienced this society, etc. And you would show that, yes, okay, this is the situation. This is who I am. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be in jail for forever.
Thompson...
That's what y'all trying to make me as. That's not me. Even he doesn't agree with it. He's like, what the fuck is this?
Repeatedly stated he did not care, not about his sentence, the victim, or her family. But Judge Davis emphasized she's the one that holds the pen, and regardless of what the media may think, she applies the law. To her, 65 years was an extremely long time. As she puts it,
the guy said straight up, he doesn't care. He thinks it's funny. He didn't do it for any of his... He wasn't oppressed. He wasn't kept back. Doesn't give a fuck. And she doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks because she thinks she could, because she can't really be taken out of her seat in most likelihood. Very difficult to get rid of these corrupt judges.
Psychopath, and he's actually trying to stop the person who's trying to get his sentence less.
Yeah, he is such a sociopath that he wants to go to jail.
It's his whole life, one she doesn't believe should be spent entirely behind bars.
This court does not believe that Mr. Thompson, if given the resources that he can get while incarcerated, is beyond being rehabilitated.
It's all so tiresome. As is the fraud. That stuff's still going on.
The Executioner's Sword Fund is right there, folks, just so in case you felt compelled.
Here's another, again, fraud stuff.
I promise it will get some work out.
It will. Fraud stuff's still going on as well.
This is the case involving the two men from Philadelphia who heard it was easy to rip off taxpayers here in Minnesota.
Have
you noticed the whole Minnesota fraud thing is completely out of the news cycle?
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Federal prosecutors have called this case fraud tourism, saying the men traveled here to steal from the now defunct Medicaid program. Today, they traveled back here to face the consequences.
Again, these people from Pennsylvania went to Minnesota, stole $3.5 million in fraud, and then just fucked off.
And I had the chance to ask them about it.
Then we're going to end on a happy note, guys.
Fraud tourism. You want to respond to that, sir?
I'm going to tell them.
Why Minnesota, Mr. Brown?
He's got no comment today, okay?
Anything you want to say to taxpayers here? That's Lester Brown and Anthony Jefferson, both from Philly. They admitted in court today to setting up businesses in the housing stabilization program.
Another housing scam, you know.
We learned today the men used ChatGPT to draft fake client notes and use them to submit inflated bills for reimbursement. Prosecutors say instead of helping people find stable housing, they stole more than $3.5 million from the program that shut down late last year.
This is the stuff, again, I know the Epstein stuff is horrific. I find it horrific too.
This is the case.
And it is easy to focus on. But all this background stuff keeps going on all the time. For example, the FBI has substantiated irregularities in Georgia's 2020 vote counts, probing if they were intentional. This kind of stuff, you find these little stories, they happen every week. All this stuff, it just happens quietly. It goes unnoticed. Special Agent Hugh Raymond Evans first filed the affidavit last month to establish a probable cause to raid for a raid that seized about 700 boxes of Georgia's 2020 election ballots from storage warehouse in the Atlanta area after getting a referral from the Trump White House. Affidavit included information gleaned from the FBI interviews, about a dozen unnamed witnesses recounting various allegations that dated back to the disputed 2020 election in Georgia, in which Joe Biden was narrowly declared the winner over Donald Trump. Some of those allegations have been disproven, while some of the allegations have been substantiated, including through admissions by Fulton County. This warrant of application is part of an FBI's criminal investigation, etc. In other words, yeah, there definitely was fraudulent stuff going on. In Georgia, the day of the deadline, report recount results, Fulton County reported total recounting of 511,000 ballots, 17,000 ballots fewer than the original count. The following day, Fulton then reported a total of 527 ballots counted, the affidavit noted. So they, again, found the votes, right? They found the number of votes they needed to let Biden win. And this happens everywhere, as we know at this point that it does. Excuse me. So, whoa, YouTube is messed up. Oh, no. What's going on here? Why can't I see anything? Oh, I see why. Never mind. That's why I can't see anything. 1 second. You guys there?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It's because I switched over to my Aiden Paladin account to make sure that to set the premiere to go. But my point in bringing up all of this is that all of this insanity, it goes on all the time anyway. I have a little meme to lead us out with, and then we're going to head out, and then please head over and check out my video on my channel. That will be live in under half an hour. I will be over there in the chat. It's an hour and 20 minutes long, and I will see you over there. But before we do that, Elgis5 says, if you get talking points from someone who's... Oh, let me give you the link. That would help, wouldn't it? Right? Oh, my God.
Good show, actually.
I've messed this up a little bit, right? Oh, well. That'll be okay. Here we go. Get you the link. Please go check this video out. I have been struggling with YouTube for the last year a lot. It's at the point where I am going to be making a new channel that's going to be less... political stuff for even if it's just slightly not directly related to politics, and even if it's related to politics and social science, which is what I do, but it's a little bit less obvious, I'm making a new channel for that kind of stuff because I don't know, man. This video, however, I think it's really, really important stuff that is very illuminating about why people go out and do the kind of things that Renee Good and Alex Preddy did, and why hundreds of thousands, well, not even hundreds, but why tens of thousands of people go out and do insane stuff in the name of, these left-wing causes. And again, the answer is narcissism and a little tinge of sadism. But there's complex psychological reasons as to why.
This is quite funny.
And I think you might find it. Huh?
This post. This is how you know this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
what's
is from Johnny Marga, who's obviously a Trump fan. And
Mhm.
Bonnie Class
Well, we got 30 minutes still
hysterical
to have.
rabbit Thomas Massey. Like, you have Trump derangement syndrome. You're a failed politician.
Yeah, Spoon.
And the
We
the
watched this.
comments. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the comments. Yeah, but you see the comments.
Oh my God.
The comments are full of like pro Massey people. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm so glad. I am actually glad that like I'm so surprised, but I'm so glad about this.
Well, the main thing
It's
that
just
a lot
so-
of the Trump people don't like is the fact that he's massively a pro-Israeli simp. So when Thomas Massey is not, everyone's like pro-Thomas Massey, unfucking surprisingly.
I'm so surprised to see this stuff.
Yeah, he's
I'm
actually
very-
he's actually America first. So yeah, that's why people like Thomas
Yeah.
Massey.
Genuinely, that's good to see. That is, it's actually a little bit. There's a little bit of white pilling, sir. There's a bit of white pill. I want. It's not a white pill, I guess, but I've got to. Let me read these super chats.
This was a meltdown, not a clapback. Just such a cock. There you go, well
Agreed.
done.
Let's see. The Printmaster for €5 says the autistic children of Minnesota will never recover from this one. Are you happy now? Will you ever leer? They will never leer, and they will never learn. Nope. Elder Saga for 5 says, if you get talking points from someone whose profession can be replaced in under 200 characters, you might be a leftist. Speaking about the fraud, yeah, indeed, right? You can just use ChatGPT. Mr. EC is me for £5 says, if we're not in a simulation, then God is trying his best to gaslight us into thinking we are. Or the simulation is breaking down. Sometimes it feels that way, man, right? Quetzal Pacheco for 20 Mexican pesos says, it's the Kaiser's fault, all of it. Well, Spoon, is it the Kaiser's fault?
No. It was England, France, and America's fault for getting rid of the fucking Kaiser.
True. To end us out with, there's a new meme format just dropped, friends. It's Alex Jones talking with Patrick Bet-David about, I don't know what exactly
This
the
must be
context of
old.
this is. Is it old?
Well, look at. First of all, Patrick Bet-David, his hair is shaved.
Yeah.
And Alex Jones still has hair.
That's right. This must be old. However,
Yeah.
the format's just dropped. And what it is it's just Alex Jones, I guess, naming people and what they are via his terminology. But people are taking fictional characters and applying it to. I've chosen the Star Trek one posted by absolute required Twitter follow, HVAC Barkley, one of the last remaining members of racist Star Trek Twitter. Anyway, you'll see what I mean. Such a good
A toast to the fallen.
a toast to the fallen, indeed. Anyway, you'll see what I mean by the meme, and then we'll head out, and I'll see you guys over in the premiere, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Patriot. Really? Patriot. Back to back. Patriot. Vampire. Nationalist.
If you get it, you get it. Oh my god, based.
A mental retard. Eugenicist. A scared man. Really?
It's true, he was a scared man. Retard.
Traitor. Vampire.
The thing is that these are actually vampires in Star Trek.
Vampire. Next level.
Did you say next level?
Okay, this guy
Head
is
of humanity first.
This guy is humanity first. This is the Terran supremacist character from Enterprise.
Unfathomably based.
Unfathomably based.
Next level.
Moses.
Moses.
Elaborate.
He's the real friggin' deal. My gut knows it, and it's all clear. He's pro-human. He wants progress. He's already had everything, and he's dialed in to the real deal. I guess they call that the deliver. Patriot.
Anyway, I love this meme.
Someone should make Hitler in that last one.
Well, people are doing all kinds of
Because it's
these
funny.
with different fictional characters on TV shows. Anywho, guys, that's gonna be. We're doing an early night tonight. Maybe we'll do something on the weekend. I doubt it. It wasn't. I covered what I wanted to cover for the most part, actually, in the time we had. But in about 20 minutes, I'll be over. I mean, should we keep going and entertaining people for 20 minutes? Should I do that? Because I did want it to lead up to it. I didn't think we'd be done early. I don't have anything to do
Well,
though.
That's
the problem.
When the hell do we need anything to make 20 minutes disappear?
What?
When the hell do we need anything to make 20 minutes disappear? Vex and I can make 5 hours disappear with no fucking...
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I don't know how we do
Watch
that.
some
It's
shit
just, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we can do
I've been
that.
told to tell a joke. It's kind of putting you on the spot.
I tried to make it a little bit shorter because I wanted to make sure we were out of here in time in order for the thing. I don't want to waste people's time.
Oh, I have a stupid story to tell.
Oh, what? Tell your story then. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I saw this outside outside my window, which I just thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
Where I'm staying right now, there's just tortoises roaming around the place. You just see them like.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna tell the tortoise story.
Running up the road in people's lawn. They're like basically moving lawn ornaments, whatever. And two things you'll notice about tortoises. One, they're very territorial because the males will just like smash their heads against each other, like trying because they have like a piece of shell underneath their chin, and they basically will try and corner a male against something and then try and flip them because that's how they kill. And the other thing they will try to do is shag. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but tortoises have shells. And so the mating ritual, the mating ritual is just a male who will walk up to another female and stick their head in their faces and make that weird high-pitched squeaking noise, and then try and mount them. But the thing of it is, you actually you actually need a female to keep still to do that, which they don't. They just move. So it's just constant, like an hour of just being chased by a female that is being mounted by a male who just moves slightly forward, and then they stop, and it's just this over and over and over again. And so I'm watching this happen on my front lawn because you see this every other fucking day. And this one male manages to mount a female while she was eating, which I thought was very rude. It's a complete lack of etiquette. But, okay, so he eventually manages to get this female, right? And his head is up in the sky for like a good 30 seconds, like he's posing, like he's fucking Patrick Bateman or some shit.
Is your Patrick Bateman tortoise?
Yeah. And
it's winking at the mirror.
Yeah, essentially, it's basically like that, right? The weird thing is, I'm assuming in order for this episode to end, he must decouple, so to speak. This female decided, no, I'm not going to do that. And she just starts to move. And this poor little fucker is behind her, presumably with his dick still intact, because he's basically trying to balance behind her whilst his front paws are on her shell, as she's just wandering across the garden, and he's just on his back leg, just waddling. Yeah, I was like, this you can't tell me this is part of the ritual, because he's just like being dragged by his dick just across the yard. It's like, what the fuck am I watching? It was just fucking funny as shit.
Spoon is like in a turtle fucking.
Yeah, basically. It's just really funny to watch. I'm just going like, what the hell is he doing? It's this. I mean, to be fair, he did try and shag her while she was eating, so I feel like this is kind of like a comeback. And so like just watching him. Well, you know what I mean. But yeah, random shit you see tortoises do.
Could you imagine? I could not imagine walking back through that neighborhood like shite-faced from the fucking pub and having to try and negotiate your way around when there's a bunch of walking fucking like boulders running around the place.
Pretty much.
You'd want steel toe caps on.
Many
times I've gone next door to help with something, and if it's been nighttime, I vividly remember at least one occasion booting some poor hedgehog up the arse because I didn't see him. I cannot imagine that, but with like 40 pounds of fucking like ceramic armor on it, like stubbing your foot at 40 miles an
hour. 1 second, I'm just getting some stuff ready here. Sorry.
She's gold bricking.
I'm not. I'm actually trying to also make a tweet. Excuse me while I...
Trying to?
Right, this is what happens. They get fucking monetized on Twitter, and suddenly it's all about...
No, I always share out my
stealing
video.
my memes.
I always share up my video first. Let's see. New
doesn't
video,
deny
50
the
minutes on
meme
the psychology
thievery.
of political activism. Sadistic narcissism. By the way, again, that's the answer. The answer is sadistic narcissism. And on the dark side of empathy. There we go. All right, tweeted. Cool. I think I don't want to like waste your guys' time over here. You might all have things to do in 15 minutes. 15 minutes is pretty close. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, particularly as I Goldberged there for a little bit at the end. And I really hope that you enjoy my video. I think there's some interesting stuff in it. And I will see you over there in about 15 minutes. All right?